All right. I don't know what cut that was. What is good, Podheads? It's your boy DJ Easy Zeke here in Greensboro, North Carolina for episode 9 of Podheads. And I got a Greensboro legend, a YouTube legend, man, just an all-around hilarious dude. And this is going to be a great episode. Loon, how you pronounce it? K-Do?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
There we
K-Do.
go.
Yeah, Loon K-Do. And on everything.
Welcome to Podheads, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
Dude,
you for coming on.
I like this. This is so much different than my setup.
I appreciate that. That means a lot, especially because I feel like you're definitely one of the podcasters that I've been keeping my eye on stuff like that. So
Nice. No, that's sick, man. I actually, when you came out with your podcast, Zoran sent it to me, and we were both like, "Wow, nice."
Hell yeah.
It's just so nice to have people in like we grew up with that are doing social media shit, you know,
with the creative mindset and all that.
Yeah, there was I don't know if you remember, but Carmani or he cut hair. Yeah. Now he cuts hair and he's like big in like social media. He was cutting little baby's hair and shit. And I was
No
like,
shit. I did see him doing like vlogs and stuff of it, but that shit look fire.
Yeah, so it's just nice to see Dub G out there.
Hell yeah. But speaking of Dub G, that's normally where we start here on Podheads, is at the beginning. Me and Loon met in high school. I moved to Greensboro my sophomore year, I want to say, and that was when we first met. I'm not sure if we had mutual friends when I first got there
Probably.
or what, but we crossed paths eventually. But yeah, so let's talk about that at the beginning. What was the high school life like for you? Did you do sports or anything like that?
Dude, I was a fucking weirdo in high school. I honestly hate myself in high school. I was trying to be so hard to be white. It was so goofy. I think because you're 25, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we grew up at the same time. And when we were little, being Asian wasn't as cool. Now it's cool as fuck. Shout out BTS. Shout out fucking anime. Anime and BTS really put us out there. But anyway, so back then it wasn't really cool to be Asian. So when I went into high school, I was trying really hard to be white as fuck. So I was dressed up in Ralph Lauren polo and wearing Sperry's and shit. And I think we met, if I'm not mistaken, from Sierra Bradley or one of those at a party or something like that in one of those settings. And where were you from before Greensboro?
I was born in Winston-Salem, but a town called Lexington outside.
Oh, I know Lexington.
Yeah, outside of Winston. But then
small ass town.
Definitely shitty.
Dude, last time I was in Lexington, this was 2 weeks ago. I drove over there to drop off somebody, and there was 2 kids in high school just boxing outside. This is at 10 at night, and I parked my car and I was like, "Can I watch?" And she's like, "Yeah." So we have a squad of high schoolers and me, and we're just watching these 2 dudes beat the shit out of each other. This is Lexington as fuck.
High school.
Can you curse
club.
on here?
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
Cool.
You can, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just some people can, bro. Some people. I mean, I get it. I mean, as long as you're, I guess monetization maybe. I don't know. I curse on mine.
We'll edit it if it offends anybody. Well, maybe we'll release a clean version.
I'm gonna try to offend everyone.
All right, so you said you were kind of struggling with, I guess, being Asian in high school, wasn't really confident in yourself and stuff like that.
For sure.
Was there anything that kind of changed that mindset? Did that just last throughout the entirety of high school?
So all of high school it lasted. I think it wasn't even in college. Honestly, I joined a fraternity. It was an all white frat.
What college did you go to?
I went to UNCW Wilmington, and I was in SAE there, and it's an all white fraternity with maybe one Hispanic dude and then me, the only Asian. And I don't know. I think I was just I was shunning my Asian side, and it wasn't until I graduated that I realized through dating. I really joke about the BTS and the anime, but I really do think that made a huge impact on
for
Asian
sure.
culture.
For sure.
There was a study in 2000 when we were in high school, so 2014 or 13, where Tinder said that the lowest groups to get matches were Black women and Asian men. Wow. So at that time, and now it's a lot different. You see Asian guys on TV and shit, and so I guess just seeing that, and also I'm not gonna lie, getting tattoos. I don't know why, but that has changed a lot of my confidence as well, because girls will actually come up to me for the first time in my life. I'm like, oh shit, really? Nice. And you're a tall white guy, so you don't have to worry about this ever. I'm over here struggling for half my fucking life.
Man, you just gotta work with what you got, I guess.
Man, shut your fucking 6'5" ass talking to light skinned girls in college ass up.
That's funny as hell. That's so funny. So was college always the goal then? I know you said, and fraternity life, I know you said you tried to be a white guy, but was that always just what you thought you had to do?
So I mean, I had a friend, I don't know if you knew Chance Webb, But he was
Name sounds familiar.
so he was a year older than me, and he was a good friend of mine, and he was already at UNCW. He was in a frat already, and I was kind of like, I mean, he was like, yeah, come down. I was like, all right, cool. So I guess that was the goal at first, and I chose Wilmington for dumb reasons, like white girls, because that's what I like, you know. Mostly, but I like most girls now. But back at that time, I was really into white girls, and so I went down there, and honestly, the experience, like, it was cool. Parties were cool and all, but like, if I were to do it again, I wouldn't even go to college. Like, it was just kind of a waste of time and money. But it was fun. It was fun.
Was there any experience? Because I say the same thing, but I also feel like
you dropped out.
Well, see,
dope.
but I feel like I should have damn graduated. I was there for like 4 years, but like, you should, like, I feel like my experience at college was like, I was supposed to go for the relationships. I met the people, you know what I'm saying? Like, my destiny wasn't necessarily to go there and graduate from school, but so you felt
clap
like
cheeks. Yeah, I'm feeling the same way. Yeah, what were you saying?
And I mean, pretty much what you said. Like, to sum it up, clap cheeks. That's so funny, bro.
Dude, you know what's funny? I didn't even clap that much cheeks in college.
That is funny.
Dude, I went a whole year celibate, not even by choice. Freshman year, I was just I was such a loser, bro. I was trying so fucking hard to be frat that it was just so cringe.
So, I mean, I know you probably can't talk about the, like, hazing or whatever, but
I can. I don't give a fuck.
So what was it like to, like, be an Asian guy joining an all-white frat?
Dude, racist as fuck. They would call me, like, Chinky Cheese and, like, shout out Tom, you know that. Yeah, they would call it, like, Kim Jong-Loon, Jeremy Loon whenever I hoop. That was a good one, though. But, yeah, I don't know. It's not actually that racist towards Asia. They were definitely fucking racist towards, like, some other groups and shit.
For sure.
And, like, being in that environment, when I look back at it, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing there? And, like, you honestly, well, you're a freshman in college. You're 18. You don't have any friends also. So you're, like, striving to, like, be in this group to make friends and shit. But it's I mean, if it's for you, do it. But for me personally, you can make friends just chilling. And like, honestly, some of the coolest people, you just be like, it'll be like, yo, you want to go smoke some weed or some shit, like, and then like, all right, we're buddies now.
Yeah,
like,
doing what you like kind of attracts the people that like the same shit. So that would definitely.
But hazing was some balls. Yeah, it was. I mean, some of the kids when I was already in the frat, like, and then they joined, that was like, I witnessed even worse shit than what I had to do. I had to do some fuck shit too, but there was like this one kid, bro, he fucking threw up in the basement because of like shit that they made him eat. I was just witnessing this, right? No, you get ready. That was the easy part. One of the fucking guys hated that kid so much and told him to eat the throw up, and so he had to eat his own throw up back. And then we told him to stop because it was grossing me out and it was grossing everyone out. Like, we were like, yo, no, like.
What?
Yeah,
that's like some movie.
It's some white people shit, bro.
You ever heard of the movie The Goat with Nick Jonas?
No,
it's
is
like
that a frat movie?
It's about shit like that, and like
I know about it.
And a kid's like running a track at the end, and he has like a heart attack or something because of all the like stuff that he had to go through. But
that makes
like,
a lot of sense.
That shit is crazy.
I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to do what the military does, like the rite of passage shit.
Not
but it's
military.
Fucking the military versus a frat. So like that is like the, but they want to, they want you to show that you want to.
Yeah,
but
your loyalty, like that's what you're proving.
Exactly. So it's a little weird. I'll never forget this one guy. I talked about this yesterday. This one guy, I'll still never forget this shit. I never fucked with him. He spat in my eye.
While you were being like recruited or whatever.
Yeah. And he spat in my eye during Hell Week, and I don't know what it was, but he's like a little bitch too. I was a bitch in in college, so I can't really say too much. But now I'm just like, bro, if I ever saw that motherfucker, bro,
got beef.
It might be on site. I'm just like,
that's funny as fuck.
Yeah, but yeah.
So what were the parties like though at Wilmington? Because I know Wilmington's like it's more than 50% girls. I think it's in the 60s if I'm not mistaken.
60s now. Back when I joined, it was 65 or 70. It was a lot of fun.
Were parties like just off the chain or?
So parties, it was interesting. So it was hit or miss depending on like the weekend, but most parties that we threw were bangers, and essentially like it was pretty packed. Like we threw this party every year. We stopped doing it because we got in big trouble, but it was called Halloween, where it was a week before Halloween. Because Halloween, everyone would go to Chapel Hill or ECU.
Yep.
That was your guys' week.
Definitely.
But people from Chapel Hill and ECU would come to ours the week before because we did Halloween, and like that shit was packed, like 200 ticket sales. Like it was nuts. But I will say, I'm sure there's schools that are even like ECU. I heard was a big party school. I'm sure you guys had some fucking wild ones out there too.
Oh, we definitely did. But me not being in a frat, it was like I feel like my party experience was different. Well, for one, anytime, even if I would bring girls with me, bro. I wasn't about to just show up to a frat without them. But like, bro, I would show up with like at least 4 or 5 women. Be like me and my boy Cam. Shout out Cam. And like they still be like, nah. And I don't know if it's because he's black or if it was just because we were dudes. But it was just like, man, I tried like to go to like maybe 2 frat parties. But after that, I said, fuck this shit, man. I don't even like going to house parties like that, anyways, for real. But like, you learn to, not give a fuck about it. Because, like, after 2 no's, I'm like, bro, what am I even begging for? Like,
you're not missing out on too much. Like, I will say, like, the aspect of having a bunch of fucking girls, like, there.
That's it.
That's fun. And being on, like, I like being on countertops. So I would, well, it's for a social anxiety thing back then. I'm not socially anxious now, but back then I used to be, like, really shy to talk to badass bitches and shit. So I would stand on the counter dancing because now you don't look awkward.
Yeah.
You're just, like, dancing. You don't have to talk to anybody. You're
Yeah,
just, like, fucking,
exactly.
you're like, oh, there's that guy.
Yeah.
But, and the funniest thing about frat parties, though, is, like, there would be a group of, like, let's say, like, 10 of the guys who are it's always the guys that want all the girls. They're like, dude, where are all the girls at? Blah, 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 blah. The moment the girls get there, they're standing around the keg. And they're just, like, sitting, talking, jerking off to each other. Like, I always thought that was such a funny concept.
Where the girls at? And then
yeah, no, because they're too shy
yeah.
to actually talk to any of them. And it's like every frat has that, too. I mean, there are going to be the guys who are, like, really social and shit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just always thought that was goofy.
Were you in this frat all throughout college?
Sadly, yeah. That's fine. No, it was cool. Yeah, I was.
I'm sure there were still good times.
Yeah, there's definitely good times, and I have some good connections off of it for sure. And I was the treasurer for like 2 years, so I actually had to be involved and shit. Yeah, but it was all right.
Did you do any like club sports or anything like that? Because I know you're like pretty athletic now, but were you working on like your physical health at that time as well throughout college? Because it's kind of difficult too, especially I'm sure if you're in a frat drinking and stuff all the time. So
nothing like no club, but we did intramurals, and I did the soccer team for our frat, and also
you played
the
in
basketball
high school too, right?
C team. I did play soccer in high school. I also played basketball for Young Life. For like 1 year. I'm like, so the thing is, I was ass at basketball then, so I wish I was like playing with my skill now because I'm like a little bit better. But yeah, I didn't really start like actually caring about my fitness until senior year of college. I would say, yeah, that's when I started working out like actually.
And were you going in with the intention of just trying to be healthy, or were you trying to get big, or like what was the goal with that?
Dude, so I had an internship going into senior year in Cincinnati, Ohio. I met my friend Matt, shout out Matt Arnold, and this other homie, and then they were like, yo, you want to go work out one day? And these guys are like a lot bigger, right? Like he was a football player. We worked out together, and I was just like, damn, like I want to be like that, like, because they were like fit, they seemed healthy, they were getting lit, and they weren't like super hungover and shit. I'm like, damn, like I was chubby at the time too, so I think seeing someone else like that, and also obviously like the attention from girls and like looking good
for sure.
And but yeah, overall that, so aesthetically mostly, and then now as an adult, like adult, it's more of health. Yeah, I don't work out as much as I used to.
Was this like a complete lifestyle change as far as like dieting and stuff too? Because I feel like
dude. So I fucked up though. I like built an eating disorder when I first started. Yeah, it was some fuck shit. So like when I first started, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I got Planet Fitness membership, and I was watching YouTube videos for motivation, and it was all these like bodybuilders, like Christian Guzman and all these like big name guys, and that's the worst way to get into it because you're looking at bodybuilders and they're like counting macros to like the T, and they're like, yeah, I cut and lose weight because I'm eating blah 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 blah, right? And so I'm thinking in my head, that's what I need to do. So I start cutting. When you start, you should actually be gaining because that's the best time to gain muscle. And so I fucked that up, and then at one point, dude, I was eating 1,500 calories and running 5 miles a day, which is like extreme eating disorder type beat. So yeah, but
I mean, like, how many calories do you burn in 5 miles? Like
500 and something. So you're only netting 1,000, and like being a guy, you need what, more,
2,000 or 3,000
to maintain. Yeah. So in order to cut, you need only go down like 300 or 400 calories. But I didn't know that, so I went down like 700, like, and added cardio, which is like stupid as fuck. But now I know because So yeah.
What was your major in college?
Business management and marketing. So what was yours?
I mean, it was supposed to be business management. It was, nice. Yeah, it was, you know what I'm
college
saying?
dropout.
Just like Kanye. Well,
yeah,
maybe not.
Anti-Semitic. As fuck.
Chill. That's funny as fuck. That's funny. But so was that something you were looking to pursue post college? Because I know you got the podcast and stuff now, and you were doing before the podcast the food reviews.
Yeah.
So was that something that started in college?
Yeah. So with fitness, actually. So when I got into that fitness pursuit, I always wanted to do YouTube again. I did YouTube in middle school as shits and giggles, but I wasn't actually like good at it. Me and Zorn actually used to do it together, but I wanted to pursue YouTube because I was watching all these guys, like bodybuilder guys. I was like, oh, I kind of want to do that. So I started with fitness on YouTube in senior year of college, about to graduate, and I started filming some just YouTube videos of me working out, things like that. Never really picked up, and then it transitioned. I noticed people were watching my full day of eating videos, like anything with food, recipes and stuff like that. So I was like, shit, maybe I should just transition into this because, I mean, fitness is fun, but it's kind of boring to film sometimes, for me at least. So then I got into food, and then the podcast was just always a passion project ever since I watched Joe Rogan, actually. So
Facts.
Yeah, and then Theo Von and all the rest and all that shit.
We talked about a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I fucking love Theo. But with your question, you said, I'm trying to.
It was I was asking, was that like, were you trying to post college pursue more of the like podcasting stuff or use your degree because it was business management?
Yeah,
right?
It was business management and marketing. But the crazy thing is, all right, so being in an Asian household, you want a stable job, and because that's what they like promote, like, you know, doctor, fucking accountant, all that shit. So I was thinking I was gonna do insurance. Actually, I still technically sell insurance. I'm still licensed. And I did do that for a little bit. It kind of sucked balls. Like, I don't like 9-to-5s. Like, I can't do that shit.
I feel you.
Wearing a fucking button down, sitting in there, feeling white as shit. And then I actually transitioned to personal training because I liked fitness so much at the time. Personal training is a tough passion, though. You have to be extremely passionate about that shit to really do it. Like, even if you like linger a little bit, it's not going to be a job for you.
That's an actual lifestyle.
Yeah, you like, dude, being in the gym 24/7, dude. It almost made me not want to work out because I was like, I have to fucking train people all day, and then I still have to fucking work out. So you're like trapped in one place. And so I did all the YouTube stuff on the side, and then I started working with my sister, and that's when I got the freedom to do YouTube and stuff. So. Yeah.
So once the YouTube really started to like work out, that was when you decided, all right, I'm gonna put the business insurance stuff on like hold and then kind of focus on that.
Yeah. So what really happened was COVID. When COVID hit and we were in that like the lockdown. Like, what were you doing during lockdown?
I was still working. Actually, lockdown did not affect me once. I was an assistant kitchen manager at Texas Roadhouse.
They still made you work?
Bro, I was working 55 hours a week still doing to-goes, and we were feeding like first responders and shit too. Okay, so like, I mean, we were like,
let's go reset.
Good little positive point. Word from our sponsors. All right, folks, welcome back to Podheads. Had a short little break, reloaded batteries and all that. We left off. Loon had just asked me what I was doing during the pandemic. Work didn't change for shit for me during the pandemic. I worked at Texas Roadhouse as an assistant kitchen manager in college, and when that shit popped off with lockdown and everything, we literally were serving first responders. We still did to-go orders, and people love Texas Roadhouse.
I fuck with Texas Roadhouse. I ain't gonna lie.
I still like it, don't get me wrong, but people like...
Love it.
Dude.
From small towns especially.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Backwoods.
Burlington's like that.
Yeah, so nothing changed for me during the pandemic. And you said that was kind of when the podcast and everything was really working out for you.
That's when I realized that personal training wasn't my passion. I also I had just gotten out of a relationship at that time. I was doing my own thing, and you can't personal train during the pandemic anyways. So I was getting like unemployment checks and stuff. And then that's when my sister presented me an opportunity. She was like, well, like, do you want to just work for me like you used to? And then me and her partnered up, and now me and her, I run 2 of her nail salons for her. And so being a business owner or co-owner, right? You get the freedom of, as long as your managers are running everything well, I'm getting income, and then I get time to do other shit. So then that's when I had enough time. I was like, oh shit, well, now this is finally time to do podcasting. And I was still filming YouTube, but I that was the time I did podcasting. And actually, when you were first at my house, the TV show that I did, when I was in the hotel for that show, you couldn't have a phone or laptop because they didn't want cheating as a game show. So
What was the show, by the way?
I can see your voice with Ken Jeong, and I asked him for a pen and paper, and I just planned out my whole podcast, like the first guest that I want, because you couldn't do shit for like 2-3 days in a hotel room. So I'm just writing them, and so that's how the podcast all came together. The Chewing Grounds, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna put a link and all of that in the description, and y'all definitely gonna have to go check that out. But damn, so you were kind of like not back against the wall, but like you were just didn't have shit else to do, and you knew what you wanted to do, so you just like took a pen and paper and went at it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's just how it started.
Were you just like writing out? You said you were writing out like guests, and then like what like kind of questions you wanted to go over and shit like that, or
fucking like I'm like really organized, like to OCD almost. Like, so I was writing the first guests that I want to contact, like anyone I knew that had some type of like social media or anything like that. I drew out the room, and I drew out every furniture piece and how much it would cost for all the equipment, estimates on like what's the list of stuff I need, questions that I could ask, guests that I could have. I drew out the blueprint of the room I want and like how much the table would take up and like things like that. Like I was really on top of that. Well, I didn't do shit for like 2 days in a hotel.
But you had the extra time, but that's still like that's pretty impressive to like.
Yeah, there was women's basketball on ESPN, so I was watching a lot of that. And
I'm sure.
You know how that was. Luckily, it was college. College is better, though. I ain't going to cap. Like, I was watching Paige Beckers at UConn. That shit was kind of lit. I was all right, hell yeah.
Who was it this past year, those two girls that...
Fucking... Oh, God. I actually did watch that.
The queen of the Bayou and...
Dude, she is... Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark,
she fucking nasty, bro, with them threes. But she lost in the finals, which was crazy.
Hate to see it, man. You can't always win.
But yeah, that's how it started.
So, what was the first episode about?
Oh, dude, so I had planned the first episode to be a special one. I wanted Zoran on because Zoran's my best friend. He also had most of my life experiences with me, with the exception of maybe my cousin. Like, so I picked Zoran. We did, we talked about, like, how it all began, the podcast, and then we talked about our history and, like, how we met and shit, because a lot of people don't know that he used to be my elementary school bully. So he used to bully me because he was a cool ass kid. He was like that skater kid, and I was a little fucking nerdy Asian. He was like, yeah.
Now look at you.
I was scared of him. I was like, bro, like, put my head down and shit. And then we ended up being friends from YouTube, which is goofy. He used to make YouTube videos too.
Please tell me y'all played RuneScape growing up.
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? So we didn't play together. We played separately because we weren't friends at that time. But he was like even better than me, but I was religious in that, but I was never a member, so that's why I was never that nasty. My parents wouldn't let me fucking pay for that shit.
Nah, my mom was the same way. I didn't get a membership until like it was damn near not cool anymore to play it, and I was like, damn, I'm too late for this shit. Right.
Did you ever 99 any skills?
Hell nah. Dude.
You never got a skill cape?
Nah, I was honestly pretty trash at it. Anything I did at a young age, it was because of the group of friends, like skating. All of that shit that I was into, like dirt bikes and all that. All my friends were into it, like, and I was sort of into it, or at least I thought I was.
Yeah.
The older I got, I realized that, like...
Oh, I'm just doing this because my friends were...
Yeah, I like other things than just that kind of stuff. Like, video games now don't mean shit to me, bro. Like,
dude, that's a really good quality. Like, the gaming one, because gaming consumes your life, bro. Unless you're making money from it.
I was just about to say, if you're streaming, you...
That's different. No. Streaming, bro, if you're a girl... And you stream, bro. That's instant money, dude. I'm telling like girls that I'm talking to, like, or this girl. I say girls. This girl that I'm talking to, that she should do OnlyFans and streaming, bro. Because if you're pretty and you're a girl right now, this is the time.
It's too easy, bro.
You can make so much money. I talked to this. I didn't talk, but I hung out with this one girl in Atlanta, and she was in the top 1% of OnlyFans for last year, bro. She was ranking in just from OnlyFans, not even modeling and shit. $140K a year, and that's like her just doing like normal content and shit. Like, you don't even got.
Yeah, I was about to say you don't even for real got to be on there and be like freaky. I feel like
she started doing that. She did start doing that because it was making more money. She was getting like fucked by dudes and putting it on there and shit. Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
Hey, but she's making that. Yeah, I was about to say she's making that bag though.
Dude, she absolutely. Dude, when I went in her apartment, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like view downtown Atlanta, like high as fuck, like rooftop and shit. It was so fucking nice.
What's the craziest experience you've had as far as the content creation goes, whether it was like a guest or like a setting you were recording in, if some crazy shit happened while it was going down or what?
So guest-wise, I'm going to have to say this one ended up being more crazy as I thought about it, but I had Miss USA North Carolina on my podcast, and then she ended up winning Miss USA, and I was like, what the fuck?
That
So
is
that one's
insane.
pretty cool. But as for like actual experience, dude, brand deals and like friendships that I've made from this has been the craziest thing. So like with brand deals, I've had some nuts brand deals that caused me to do like for instance, I got on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah because of a brand deal.
I remember that shit. Holy fuck.
So I got a brand deal with Guilford
shit.
County. Guilford County, during COVID, they asked influencers in the area to promote COVID and vaccines. And I'm not really political, but I was going to get vaccinated anyways. So I was like, all right, fuck it. They're going to pay me $600 for this. I'm going to fucking do it.
Might as well.
So I did it. And then next thing you know, they reached out to me. They're like, hey, we're getting a piece done on the Daily Show. We want you to be on. I was like, oh, that's sick. So that's one. Technically, the game show, they reached out to me through Instagram. So I don't know if that really counts, but kind of.
Was that because of the podcast?
No, that one wasn't because of the podcast. But one thing that was specific, like very specific to the podcast was I had on Tactical Manager TV from YouTube. He's a YouTuber that he's probably arguably the top 5 YouTubers that do U.S. soccer YouTube, like specific to U.S. soccer. And so he's Filippo Silva. He does content just for that. And I caught him at a time where he was just now blowing up, like 8,000 or something. He's much bigger now. But we did a podcast together through Zoom. And because of that connection, he was in town. He got invited by Charlotte FC, which is the new MLS team here. Yeah. And he got invited to do a vlog there, and he invited me. And we thought we were just gonna like go in, vlog, whatever, right? We get these fucking media like things. Bro, it's the inaugural game, 82,000 people.
MLS record.
Yeah, MLS record, 82 or 83,000 people. We are on the field. Like I'm like meeting the players. I met the coach. I'm sitting in the media room. You know, like when they after the games they do the press conference on ESPN and shit. I was in the fucking room, bro. I could have asked a question, but we didn't know what the fuck to ask. Sure. So yeah, it's just shit like that. That was nuts. And that was tired? That was from the podcast. I actually have a deal right now with airline service. And they're flying me out to Orlando, so that would be sick.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But that's more Instagram. But podcast wise, that's definitely it.
What was the first like episode, whether it was the podcast or of the like food reviews, that you kind of initially got that big, not following, but it kind of went more viral than the other episodes, if that makes sense? Like, what was that first big like? Let
me pull that up actually. So I'm actually gonna say it was Tactical Manager. So when I put on the thing about getting YouTubers on a podcast with. My podcast is on YouTube predominantly, right? So getting a YouTuber on, he brings his following over, and it hit like instantly 1,000. I also had this other guy named Maxwell on, and Maxwell, what's good, bro? I had Maxwell on, and Maxwell's also a big YouTuber. He has like 100K subscribers, right? And
saw, dude.
And when Maxwell came on, he brought in a bunch of thousands of viewers. Like it was like night and day. Like it was shooting up. What's good?
And how did what's good, bro? This is Zorn. Shout out Zorn. But what was the
food wise? All right, so real quick, food wise, the biggest one or the biggest like shocker to me was I went to Raleigh and I did a 4-day food tour, and I charged restaurants just to see if they would pay. And dude, I was making $100 a restaurant, and it was 16 restaurants.
What do you mean charged them?
So I charged them to be featured on the YouTube video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
did you hit them up though?
Yeah, I hit them up. Yeah, I like mass texted like fucking like 200, and I was like,
and
yo.
You were like, if you pay me.
Well, I said it more like, hey, I'm doing a food tour. This is how much followers I have. This is how much I average. If you want to be featured, just let me know. The rate is blah, 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 blah. And then like out of like 200 people that I messaged, like 16 responded, and I made those into the food tour, and I made it like 1,600 off of 4 days. Off of just filming and eating food.
That's all you needed though, was that out of that 200 was that like 16 responses
and
or whatever.
That's the mentality. Shoot your shot. Doesn't matter if you talk to 100 girls, as long as you get laid once. That's all that matters, right?
That was definitely a great analogy, honestly. But definitely got to shoot your shot.
But yeah, what were you gonna ask? Sorry.
I think it was what you just mentioned with the
the
food one. So with the podcast and the food shit, how much time was taken up like when it started to take off? Because I know you said you were doing you were managing your cousin's.
Yeah, so me and my sister at still to this day, me and her partners for 2 of her nail salons, and so back then I would. It's each week is different. So like even from starting till now, each week is different. So like if the salons are very busy and they need me, there's like clients going on that aren't like fucking great or I mean like really shitty clients and shit. Then I don't have much time for podcasting, but I have to make it work. So like those are the episodes that you see me talking to myself. It's a solo podcast that like it's like bullshit, like 30 minutes, right? But then if I have more of a free week, I'm devoting probably 2-3 hours to film, which is like what you do, an hour or two to edit, and then to when I post, I do a lot of promotion stuff. That's also 3 hours. So essentially 9 to 10 hours a week off of podcast. And then if I do YouTube, which I'm so lazy, but when I do YouTube, it's anywhere from another 4 to 10 hours.
The Chewing Grounds is on like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that as well.
Yeah, so I go through a Buzzsprout.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I use Buzzsprout, and it just makes it easy for me. So
hell yeah,
I just throw it on there.
So you just got back from this is a little bit off topic, but you just got back from a little Euro tour.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Europe was sick. Actually, with this fucker right here. Yeah, we had a blast.
Was that your first time?
It was his first time, my second, but second time taking it in the ass. But it was really nice when I was there. Zor's first time though.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah,
what?
so no. It was a great time. We went to Amsterdam, Milan, Rome, Mykonos, and Dubrovnik, Croatia.
Did you have a favorite city?
Milan or Mykonos? Milan this trip. Last time I went, it was Mykonos. So.
But you were there for like 10 days?
We were there for 20...
20?
19 or 20.
Shit.
Yeah, we were there for a minute, bro.
Oh, damn. That's damn near a month right there.
Almost, dude. It did really feel... It's at the way in, it started feeling like really long.
Did you miss like American food or anything like that?
Nah, dude, they had McDonald's that slapped there, bro.
My buddy plays football in France. He was actually my very first episode of the podcast, but he was saying how McDonald's and like American restaurants over there. Well, first of all, he said KFC is like
it's huge.
Yeah, he said
bro.
It's like crazy big over there.
It's so crazy because I don't even fuck with KFC here,
either, bro.
Which is nuts. Like, bro, imagine if Popeyes went out there. It'd be fucking over. Or Chick-fil-A, like over, yeah. Bro.
That's crazy. That
and Italians already hate gays, so like it'd be perfect. They already have a collab together, you know? Like honestly, but yeah.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
So like, all right, what was the like McDonald's and shit like then? Because my buddy said it's like different because they have like a damn near different menu. It's
yeah,
like
so
McDonald's.
Every country has a different menu. Amsterdam had this fucking what was it? What was that sandwich? Was it a sandwich or what was it? The McCrocket, bro. So it's a fucking sandwich, and it's instead of a burger patty, it's like a fried potato like cheese thing, and bro, that shit slapped so fucking hard, bro. It was so fucking good. And then Italy had a lot of desserts that you would never see, like tiramisu and shit, like actual dessert, and actual compared tiramisu, to here, yeah. Go ahead if you need to walk by.
Yeah, you're good, bro.
I just want to say they have cooler things, but the quality, or the taste rather, wasn't as good as here.
I will say some things are cooler, but like if you order a burger or something there, it's not gonna taste the same.
Was there a place that you would like not go back to for the food, or just because of the all around experience?
This isn't my trip with Z. Oh, probably Rome. Rome was pretty overrated. So Rome,
Isn't it really crowded?
Yeah, it was. So Rome. Okay, so my least favorite city outside the country ever is Paris. Paris sucks. It's super overrated. Smells like pee. People are really mean, and also like they're very like pretentious there. And we almost got robbed in a restaurant. Like it was like that's how dangerous petty theft is there. And yeah, it was. I don't fuck with Paris at all, to be honest. There was nothing there. Even the food wasn't even that good. And people like hype up. Well, France is probably lit. Like actual France, like if you're going countryside and stuff. But I went to Paris, and Paris sucks. And then Rome. The only reason I won't go to Rome again is it's dirty as fuck. Like it's so fucking dirty. Homeless motherfuckers everywhere. It felt like LA. And it like Colosseum was lit. Like seeing the fucking architecture, that shit's lit. But other than that, they don't really have anything else going for them. And
it's kind of I mean, obviously it's an old ass city, but like it hasn't really been like updated. I feel like since those times.
Dude, if you go to Italy, go to Milan, bro.
Really?
No, bro. The girls, bro, and like everything, like the part. Everyone's young as fuck. Everyone's cool as fuck. It's so safe, and it's like everyone's dressed like cool as shit. Everyone's fucking. like baddies, bro. Like
I think when I think
baddies.
of or hear Milan, I think of like models and stuff.
Yeah. So, dude, we went there and like we discovered the second night this like cool ass bar area by this like canal, and it's like just bars and bars, like people outside, like it's lit as fuck, and everyone's like kind of touristy. So it's like imagine Squid Game, right? But like everyone's baddies and they're all right there. Like it's like they're all trapped in this like dome and everyone's like fucking super bad and you're like, damn.
That is funny as fuck.
There was a baddie in Squid Game too. That one chick that ended up in the final 10 or whatever.
They did a Squid Games at ECU. Mr. Beast did.
Yeah. Oh, that's also another thing. Mr. Beast is from Greenville, which is where he went to school, which is insane to think about.
He's like the most subscribed to YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure.
The most, I think the biggest like moneymaker.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, motherfucker be giving out like 10 bands for tips at restaurants and shit, bro.
Actually, one of my friends from college went on one of his videos.
Really?
Once. Yeah. She was Mary Lisa was featured in like 2 videos for like the game show, game stuff. Yeah,
he used to feature a lot of the. I will say, shout out to him for that aspect because like being from Greenville, I'm not from Greenville, but he's from there, and like I actually went to school there. If you're not going to ECU, man, like that town is not shit. And the fact that he's kind of like putting on a little bit is like kind of dope to see. And he has people from there on his show. He doesn't like. Go and get these people who are already rich and famous to like.
Yeah, he never moved either.
Yeah,
he never moved to LA or any of the like other influencers. He built a whole fucking warehouse right outside of Greenville.
That's where he had his Squid Games at, if I'm not mistaken.
Fucking nuts.
He was doing one video. I remember was doing the like $10,000 tip or whatever. Man, I was working at a restaurant in Greenville at the time. This is when I was bartending at Melon Mushroom, but. Yeah, I was really hoping that motherfucker was gonna walk in one day.
Dude,
and like,
that would be sick. That
would have been like 10 bands. You know how much that would change like a motherfucker's life,
dude. And casually too. Yeah. Like he was dropping it. Like he would buy Teslas and shit for people. And I'm like, dude, that's so fucking crazy.
That's definitely like.
You know what baffles me whenever he gets hate? Because I'm like, how the fuck can this dude get?
Yeah,
hate?
for sure.
Like. Dude is doing God's fucking work, bro. He cured motherfuckers of blindness or some shit, bro. Or not actually, but kinda.
And there was people who were like actually upset about it.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what?
Backwards
you should. You know what? I have a theory. So people who are upset over shit like that are just like their lives suck so much that they don't have anything else to be upset about because think about it. If that same person got a Tesla from Mr. Beast, you think they're gonna be really bitching?
Nah.
Fuck no. So it's just
not.
like that's just the way it works. That's how human nature is.
Definitely.
Haters gonna hate us because they ain't us.
Damn. We kind of got off topic with the Mr. Beast shit. My bad.
No, you're good. This has no topics.
This doesn't. This is the fucking Loon episode, bro. What else you got going on coming up as far as like projects and shit going? I mean, I know you release how often do you release episodes for Shooting Grounds?
I'm supposed to do it every week. I'm releasing one. It'll already have been released when
you
this
just
comes
went on
out.
a college tour too.
Yeah. I went on a college tour where I'm doing these college podcasts. Just like I post up, kind of like you. I just literally just post up and I'm like, hey, you want to be on podcast? And some people get on, some people don't. And I just finished that.
Y'all talk about some
goofy stuff,
some funny shit.
So the thing about the college podcast is the goal from that is obviously to meet really cool people and have fun combos, but it's more like clickbaity combos. Like I pick conversations that are goofy, like where if it's like you or if it's like Zorn or if it's like a UFC fighter, it's gonna be obviously like more like serious or not even serious, just like in depth.
Yeah.
Those are just like quick, witty, like oh fuck, marry, kill, like this, like that. I'm trying to get like that quick content. But I just finished that. I'm uploading UNC Chapel Hill today, which was my last college tour, and then I'll have I have one with a gun activist, and he took my gun virginity, and I shot a gun. And I was like, what the fuck?
Damn, how was that?
Dude, it's nuts, man. It's just so crazy to me, like the concept that you could kill somebody with something so small.
I agree.
I don't really like, to be honest, like, and I'll tell Nunu this too. Nunu was a great guy for bringing me out there. I don't like guns, like the concept and stuff. But I understand the necessity in America because it's too late. Yeah. It's just like everybody has some. Might as well fucking go on. Yeah, we're too far gone. But when I went to Europe, bro, that's what they know us for. That's what they know Americans for, bro.
Yeah.
This is the fact that we're dangerous because we have guns, which is so crazy.
We're all burger eating, shotgun holding, son of a gun.
Yup. I have that. I have a bunch of trips coming up, but that's not really YouTube wise. I do have the Orlando trip is connected with my Instagram. Because
what was your favorite college that you visited? Had you been to all the colleges that you did these episodes at already?
Yeah.
You'd already been to them?
Yep. I went to, so I started when first ever one was UNCG, then there was A&T, which was local to here. And then after that, I went to, I've been to ECU, UNCW, Chapel Hill.
I saw the ECU one.
App State. I feel like I'm missing one more. Who am I missing? Not Wake Forest.
NC State. Did you already mention that one?
NC State. So I did those. And the funnest ones, and not even saying that because you went there, but ECU was probably the funnest conversations. And then right under that is probably App or A&T.
Is that because like people seemed more engaging there?
Dude, people don't give a fuck there, bro. They were coming, bro. I never seen this shit, bro. I had a girl just come on the pot, like I was like, dude, people were eager to go on. Versus like certain places like Chapel Hill and NC State. I don't know if it's like the dynamic of them being like smart and shit, but like they don't want to like go on.
They're
So
a little more
I had to
reserved.
ask like 5 fucking people, and then one person might come on. Where ECU, it's like 90% success rate or 80%. And also the location I posted up is right outside that library that does those music. Yeah. Oh, that shit was annoying as fuck.
Annoying as
fuck.
fuck.
But it was a great location because the foot traffic was
Oh, yeah.
awesome. The scenery was great. And bro, I had motherfuckers like I had this girl who, if you guys watch, it's the ECU episode on my podcast. But this one chick was like telling me some like TMI ass story. I'll tell the story after this.
All right, bet. Great little cliffhanger right there. We'll be right back, folks. All right, welcome back to Podheads. Took another quick break to reload batteries, and we left off with a good little cliffhanger. So Loon was about to tell us about why ECU was his favorite school that he went to on the college tour, and he had a pretty crazy story about one of the girls that came on the podcast.
Yeah, that's right. So there was this girl, and she was telling me a TMI ass story, but I just thought it was goofy because usually college kids on these tours, they don't tell you all the details. And she was like, yeah, so she was talking to this guy in a frat, and he had her wait at in his like house or whatever, living room for like 2 or 3 hours, and essentially he was fucking another girl while she was waiting, right? And so she's watching Forrest Gump, like, and she's like crying and shit because Forrest Gump's sad as fuck, you know. And then dude comes back. She didn't find out till later, but dude comes back, they bang or whatever, right? So this dude's a fucking like mega stallion or some shit. But anyways, after that, she found out, and she was so fucking pissed. So she fucks his neighbor and his little in the fraternity, bro. And I was just like,
That's how you get back?
the streets is real out here, my guys. The streets is real.
I swear.
But yo, she was. I respect that she told that story though, because girls usually don't tell like TMI stories like that on
The
podcasts.
ECU girls, I guess they will.
But yeah, that's why ECU was the best, and then A&T and App were second, because people at App are weird as fuck, so it's so fun. Everyone's like high as shit, dude. Everyone was either microdosing or high, or not everyone, but a lot of them were.
Yeah.
And then A&T was funny as fuck because it's like all fucking black people, so it was so goofy. Like I was the only Asian. It was so funny, bro. And bro, we had a squad of like, it was all freshmen. It was like 5 freshman girls. All of them are black, but this one girl who's white. But the white girl was even like more hood than any of the other. But bro, it was so goofy, bro.
That is funny.
We asked them like dick size and shit like that, and they were out here like, nah, if it ain't 6 inches, then I don't even fucking want it. And I was just like, bro, I'm dead. You never gonna date an Asian. But yeah, so just like shit like that, bro. But those are probably my favorite podcasts.
So ECU, App, and A&T.
Yeah, those are probably like the top tier. Everything else was pretty tied. Like there's never been really a bad one. Like Chapel Hill was the most like was the term. I guess like not reserved either. That's not the right term. It was like serious combos. Like it was more like
Their sense of humor was probably a little bit different than.
Yeah, maybe that might have been it. It was more like I had a guy, we talked for like 20 minutes about art and like shit. Like we got into details with like actual topics rather than like fucking just horny sex shit and like just goofy stuff like that. But yeah. So Chapel Hill was just different.
That tells you, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, ECU's wild,
Yeah,
bro.
I was going to say, if that tells you
y'all got a
anything
1
about
in
ECU.
Y'all got a 1 in 4 STD rate there.
I remember you said
That's
1,
crazy.
2, 3 herpes.
It's true, bro. I searched that up mid podcast. I was like 1 in 4 ECU students.
That's crazy.
That was like a study back in probably when you went to school.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely a sketchy time, and getting tested was obviously very scary as well. Just cause like, who fucking knows, bro? Like sometimes you could tell, I guess, but like, you know, you get shit. Sometimes they ain't got no fucking.
Dude, and like the thing about STDs, dude, is like you can be unless you're the safest. If you're actually like the safest motherfucker, then you're good. But if you're like even like 90% safe, it just takes that 10%. And you got STD. I had chlamydia, so I know that shit was annoying as fuck. And I'm a safe ass motherfucker.
Got burned.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, and then the pills kind of suck balls. You ever experienced anything like that?
I did in
Yeah.
college. AC, they got me, man. That's why, like, it was one
He's
time
the
though.
1 in 4, right?
Yeah, the 1 in 4. No, I did get got once, but you know, you get rid of that. I got something you could get rid of. Thank God.
Yeah,
It
same
wa-
with
wa-
chlamydia. Yeah.
But no, that was that one time, and I remember because I didn't even know I had gotten tested because one of the girls that I was actually trying to like date her. She was like, "No,
Oh,
we're not."
no.
Yeah, she was like, "We're not gonna do this, you know, like hook up until you get tested," because she knew I was like doing my own thing, being single and shit. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go. And then
Do you know who gave it to who? No, to this day, man.
still don't know.
See, I keep track of every single person. So
Now I do. Now
I-
I definitely would know. But bro, in college, man, I had.
track everything. So I think I know exactly who gave it to me.
Damn.
And I also knew who I gave it to. I gave it to 2 girls I feel really bad about.
Damn.
And obviously I told them and shit, but you know,
Damn.
that was that.
That was my least favorite part, was when they called you and they were like, well, my thing was like, I didn't even know who the fuck. So I was
Yeah.
like, damn, I don't know.
Did you have to make any calls?
I didn't, because I didn't know who the fuck I got it
yeah.
from, and I didn't want to call the wrong person and be like,
Yo,
you might not. So
I
it's
low
just-
key did that. And it was
Damn.
awkward as fuck. I was like, yeah, you should probably get tested. Like to like a couple people, yeah.
I see. Yeah, no, someone definitely got me, and I was. Whew, thank God that girl had told me to go get tested too, because
To this
honestly,
day,
I
you
was-
could be slinging this fucking burning
that's
pee.
fucked up, but
Yeah.
Someone
Dude.
someone didn't tell me though. If you think about it, like I would have never known.
Yeah.
Had
So certain STDs, the lesser ones, they you can be asymptomatic, like where there's no like symptoms. Because I didn't really feel much until like I started taking the pills to cure it. Then I started feeling shit. But other than that, like could have just gone on my whole life and just not fucking know. But thank God I got tested.
No, for real. All right. So now that we just had a little,
Yeah.
a little sex education.
So
for
now you guys know our life. This is what we talk about.
Nah, for
Podheads.
real. Podheads for real. Shit. So let's go back to like the podcast though itself. Your podcast. Is
Yeah.
there like a creative mindset that you try to like get yourself into beforehand, or is it just kind of like?
Yeah.
You're going. I mean, you're going to be yourself regardless, but you have to like get yourself in a certain mind frame.
So I
before you
wake
go.
up and I jerk off. You're laughing, but sometimes I actually do that. And then I drink some. Most of the time it's just caffeine, bro. All right, it depends. So college, I have to prep myself. College and any interview where it's like professional, then I do prep. If it's a homie, I don't do anything. Especially if there's alcohol or like if we smoke weed. Like I smoke weed on a couple of my podcasts. Like if I do that, dude, it's just goofs. Like whatever comes to mind is whatever comes to mind. But for college ones, I like on the drive to the colleges. I'll prep some questions that I have. I try not to recycle too much. The only ones that are reoccurring that I'll ask is like what you look for in a guy or something like that, or like
That's because the answers are
fuck,
always
marry,
gonna be
kill.
different.
Yeah, certain ones I'll keep around, but I try to ask new ones because the first 2 or 3 they were very of my college ones, they were very generic questions, and so I'm trying to like get a little bit more elaborate, little clickbaity ones. And then for professionals, anytime I get like I had someone running for mayor of Greensboro, I've had Miss USA, certain people like that, I have to do some prep work. I watch either I do something on like them on Google, whether I watch their video of like Miss USA doing her pageantry stuff or like stuff like that. I get details on like who they are, like vague enough. I do you ever watch Hot Ones?
Oh yeah, dude. I love Hot
So
Ones.
I genuinely think him and Rogan, No, him. I would say in terms of just being a peer interviewer.
Oh, his research is insane.
Dude, he is a fucking genius. So I'll occasionally do some shit like that where I'll like. So I noticed that you went to blah 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 blah, and then they're like, oh shit, yeah. And so I'll do some of that, but it's only for people who like I don't know at all in a personal setting, and it's just like professionals and stuff like that.
Do you feel like when you're going into those more serious ones that you gotta like kind of be more PG with your questions?
Absolutely, dude. So, well, I'm usually curious about these people anyways, and whatever their content is, I have a good enough social awareness to talk about that stuff. I'll still joke no matter what. Like I'm always goofing, but like the jokes are different. Like like the mayor guy who came in, like my jokes was towards like the fact that I'm sure like him growing up black, being in like political stance with a bunch of white old ladies, like it's probably like you probably really stand out and shit like that. Like it's a little bit different. But then if I have like an OnlyFans model, I'm gonna be like, which I have had, and I'll be like, all right, so like how many guys do you think jerk off to you like every night, like shit like that, so it's just different. It's just depending on who they are. Yeah.
Damn, I bet the OnlyFans model had some fucking interesting. You could probably just think of like a lot of interesting questions to ask someone like that.
Yeah, that one was easy. Actually, that one did really well too. I think that's my top 10, top 20.
I was gonna say, do you have like an actual favorite that you've done as far as like overall like interesting, funny, entertaining, all that?
Man, I have so many favorites. It just depends on category. Like funniest, it's between ECU and like the first one me and Zorn did was pretty goofy. I had the Ben Hamadi. I mean, not Ben. Yeah, Ben Hamadi one was funny when he was trying to teach me, or he was trying to talk me into getting into ass eating. Like that was fucking hilarious because the way he was describing it too.
People don't talk about eating ass like they used to. I feel like.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like when I was in college, there was a time specifically between like 2016 to like 2018, like those 3 years. I feel like that was like in songs, like on like social media.
Shout out Kevin Gates.
It was just exactly.
Yeah, that motherfucker love eating ass.
Yeah, so like I feel like that shit kind of was like a fad in a way. I don't even know if motherfuckers still be eating booty.
I don't know, bro. I've never done it. I kind of want to do it.
You've Shout out to any.
Yeah, so like this is the crazy thing. So I've done almost everything sexually except for getting pegged. That's like my no. I can't do that. I'll do a butt plug up my own ass. I haven't done that yet though, but I want to do that. I'll do a small butt plug up my ass while I'm fucking a girl. Like I'm okay with. Cause I've had a finger and it's all right. Like it's kind of weird. It tickle a little bit, but it's like it's fine. Yeah. It was like interesting. I won't do pegging. But like I'm willing to do anything, so like I'm willing to try eating some ass, but I obviously get my ass eaten too. But like I just haven't found the person that I want to do that with yet. Yeah. They gotta be clean as fuck, you know.
You gotta be picky with that.
Yeah, I'm talking to someone right now that's pretty cool, so maybe I don't know. We'll see.
That'll work out.
Hey, shout out to that person. You know who you are.
Definitely don't take them out to like fucking
Mexican, or Indian, bro. That'd be nuts. Fucking tiki masala coming out the booty hole. That'd be kind of nice. You get seconds.
Dude. Holy shit. All right, well, speaking of eating ass and food, what was your favorite like food tour restaurant?
Or my favorite ass to eat?
What was your favorite ass to eat?
Favorite food tour?
Favorite food like restaurant or any part like of that realm of your videos? Favorite
restaurant I've ever been to in my life, and I'm going back in July, is Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen in Vegas. He actually follows me. Shout out, Gordon.
How many reviews have you done of like restaurants?
Okay, so like that one I didn't actually review, but when we talk about like my food tours, I've done Cary, North Carolina. I'm counting how many, and then I can tell you restaurants. Cary, Atlanta. I did Orlando. I did New York. New York was a big one.
I was gonna say I watched the New York one.
New York was big. LA. I did Greensboro. I'm missing another. I haven't done Charlotte. I have not done Charlotte.
That would be a good one.
That would be a good one. But again, it just takes so much of my time to do those videos. So I might not actually do. I've done Wilmington a little bit. It's a short one. So probably like anywhere from 50, in the range of 50 to 100. I don't think I've done more than 100. So in that range somewhere.
And Gordon Ramsay's restaurant wasn't a part of the...
No, so that one was... I did a vlog. It was my first time ever doing a travel vlog. It was back in 2000... I don't know. I was 21. So whenever we were 21. And my sister... for my birthday, my sister got us flights to Vegas. And so it was me, my sister, and my cousin. And we go out there, and it's just a normal vlog, not like I wasn't into food at the time. Like I was doing fitness still, but I want to do a travel vlog, and I'm going out there, and we go to this restaurant, which is Gordon's, and they had this fucking beef Wellington, bro, which is their special. Bro, goddamn, bro, that shit's so fire. I can't wait to eat that shit again. But the funny thing is, Gordon Ramsay, who also owns my least favorite restaurant of all time.
What is that?
Ever, bro. It's his signature restaurant too, which is funny. It's in London. It's like a 3 Michelin star. Also, Michelin stars are overrated as fuck. So it's a 3 Michelin star restaurant. It's expensive as shit. It's like $200-$300 a person, right? And it's like an 8 to 12 course. So they come out, first off, between each course.
The servings are like that big.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the taste is overrated. The presentation is beautiful. It's always so beautiful. It's like fish that will look like an island, right? But then you eat it and it tastes like nothing. It's just like cool. And then between each course it's 20-30 minutes, bro. So you're waiting, you're hungry as fuck, right? Yeah. The next one's a little fucking bite. And bro, after that bro, we went in at like 7. We got out at like we went out at like 6 and we got out at like 10. So it was a 4-hour fucking experience. Were you even full at
the end of it?
No, we got takeout after. Yeah, so that we were mad, bro. My family was just like, what the fuck? But it was annoying. And also like everyone there is like super rich and pretentious, and we're like the only Asians, and I dress like this everywhere I go, so I definitely stood out. Like everyone's like in suits and shit. I'm like, yo, I hate this.
Is that true about London, where like everyone does like dress up like that?
No, London itself was pretty cool. Like the environment was cool. I think just it's more true to fancy restaurants. Whenever you go to a fancy ass restaurant, it could be anywhere. People be dressed up. Like yesterday, I went on a date, and I went to Ostera. It's a Italian restaurant off a Battleground area, and I didn't even know that it was kind of fancy, but everyone's fucking in suits, and I'm like in this, so it was interesting.
It's funny you talk about like fine dining and like being dressed up, because I've worked in several fine dining restaurants.
Really?
Yeah, I worked at Ruth's Chris for about a year.
Oh, no fucking shit.
Yeah.
I like Ruth's is alright.
Ruth's is like. Because I worked at Texas Roadhouse too, and that's like it's a steakhouse in its own right, but it's obviously not like it's not fine dining. But I will say, in my opinion, if you're gonna like go and pay for a steak, I would probably go to Texas Roadhouse over Ruth's, just based off of what I'm paying and the quality I'm getting. Like the quality of Ruth's Chris is really good. Don't get me wrong, but you're also paying an arm and a leg for that shit.
To be honest, Ruth's Chris, my first experience there was ruined because the steak was superly overly salted.
Damn.
Like I was so fucking mad, bro.
We used to get that a lot, actually. People saying it was like oversalted.
Yeah. Now when I go, I prep myself ahead. I either get the chicken or I tell them like, can I lightly salt it instead? And
the chicken's
so
fire.
Yeah, the chicken's fucking fire. So I'll admit that their chicken and then some of their desserts and apps are fire. But steak wise, yeah, definitely. Texas Roadhouse slaps, bro.
But with the like dress code thing, I've been to like Ruth's Chris several times, and like we enforced the dress code heavily when I first started. Like
what?
Like no hats, no like. It was like they was very like strict on it. And then I moved to Charlotte because I worked at the Ruth's in Raleigh. But I moved to Charlotte, and me and my boy Shy, we went to Steak 48 like 2 weeks ago.
I love Steak 48.
Yeah, he plays for the Panthers though, and like
shit.
we hadn't been there yet. But he's an athlete, and he like that's how he got the reservation, like the day of type shit. So he like called him, told him, they were like, yeah, come in, and he was like, wait, like is there a dress code? And he was like, nah, like there's no dress code for like you're an athlete, bro. We're not about to like turn down a millionaire for.
I've been to
sweats.
Steak 48. Yeah, that place is sick. I like that place more than Ruth's Chris.
Oh, me too. Yeah. Dude, the corn creme brulee there. Is,
yeah. That shit slaps,
bro. What?
Dude, that's cool that you have a friend in the Panthers.
Yeah.
My someone I knew used to date a guy who played for the Bills, but and we went to a Panthers game that he played. But
oh, really?
He's a bum now, bro. Like,
damn.
He got like a domestic violence case and all that shit.
It's always the athletes, man. Yeah. It's always the athletes.
Yes, it's always football. No, I'm just playing.
Basketball too. Shit, Charlotte having their fucking fair share of problems with like, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
What's his face? Bridges, bro. Like,
yeah, you're right.
We ain't gotta like, but that shit sucks. I hate to see it because like athletes have damn near some of the most potential in the world, and then it takes like one stupid ass mistake to like throw it all away.
Yeah,
bro. Like you could go from changing your whole family's life to literally like, you changing your life already. Like,
yeah. Don't beat women, beat your meat. That's my favorite. That's the only thing I beat.
Definitely. So you said you got a bunch of content like coming out as far as vlogs and this college tour you've been going on. Like, How many episodes left do you have to drop of that?
Yeah, so actually today's, well, it would already been released. Chapel Hill will be my last of the college tour. I'm going to take a break for that until the next semester because it's summer for the college students anyways. I do have a guns advocist podcast that's on queue. And then I have one that I'm trying to film with Brian Battle, who is a UFC fighter based out of Charlotte. It's just really hard to get scheduling down for him. That, and honestly, that's about it. I'm going to just kind of wing it the rest, so I'm just going to figure out. I'm probably going to do a Europe episode to talk about the crazy stories of Europe at some point, because I had some goofy stories. Like, I went to the red light district and I participated and shit. That shit was goofy,
No, my
bro.
buddies told me they literally went to Europe in February, and they were talking about red light district. They were talking about Paris, all that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you got some crazy stories as well. Some of their stories, I was like, bro, what?
Yeah,
Like,
it was nuts, bro. And yeah, so I don't know. I mean, that's it for the podcast. YouTube, man. The thing about YouTube, like my main channel, is it's so hard to get back into rhythm. Like once you fall off, it's like fuck. I gotta get back. What am I gonna make? Like you gotta actually fucking record, plan time for that. So.
has it ever like actually started to feel like a job for you?
Absolutely. I think that's when I shift from food tours to like other things, and like now I don't even like, dude. I uploaded twice 2 months ago, and it's been 2 months since I uploaded a main YouTube channel. I need to get back into rhythm, and I need to figure out what do I like to talk about that's sustainable. I have two friends, Howie and Chris, who are the biggest influencers in Greensboro. They both have like millions on YouTube and shit, right? But they just make like non-stop quick format content, and it's just crazy the output they can do, but they're full-time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
It definitely takes time to like sit out and plan that shit, but then actually sit down and create it as well.
yeah. If you ever go out, I'll have you meet them. That if you get Howie would be really hard to get on a podcast because he's not really the type to, but Chris would love to be on. He has a crazy influence.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he has millions.
Is there any influencers that like you met? I mean, you met these guys post podcast, or did you know
Actually,
them
they went to
beforehand?
Western.
Oh, did they really?
They were seniors when I was a freshman.
Facts.
Yeah, so we played soccer together, and Howie was first. Howie blew up on Vine. Like he blew
Shout
up.
out to fucking Vine,
Dude,
bro.
and he was one of those that can transition. So he transitioned his content to YouTube to stay sustainable when Vine was down until TikTok came out. And then he put it all on Instagram and TikTok, and now he has like a mass following, and like he's had his face on like New York billboards. Like it's crazy, and he's from Greensboro.
That's lit.
And he still lives here. And Chris, yeah, same kind of situation. He just started later, and then with the TikTok stuff, and then that was that. I've met like Ken Jeong. That was cool from like TV.
How was that?
Oh, that was
Being an Asian guy, is he like one of your like?
Yeah, he's
like
definitely
an
on the
idol?
Mount Rushmore. Or I would think like, all right, so Jackie Chan,
Yeah, all right, Asian
Bruce
Mount
Lee.
Rushmore.
Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, they gotta be up there. Now it's hard. I'm trying to think if Ken would be on the top 4, if he would be right outside of it, because I have to put Steven Yeun. Do you know who that is? Steven
He's a
Yeun.
comedian.
No, so Steven Yeun. No, I know who you're talking about. You're Steven. Jimmy O Yang. Can I?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
So Steven Yeun is he used to be Glenn in The Walking Dead. He's also the first male actor Asian actor to win an Oscar, and he never gonna forget this. First Asian in history to fuck a white girl on TV or movies. So shout out Steven Yeun. You're the one who paved the way for us.
You're a fucking
AMWS.
pioneer, bro.
Pioneer. You need to take a break.
Yeah, shit. Let's reload these batteries. All right, we are back. Took a quick break and reloaded our batteries. I'm not sure where we left off, but I'm sure we're about to pick up somewhere interesting.
You ever been hit on by a gay guy?
I went to yes. Okay, and I got 2 stories about that actually. So, first story being, let me put these headphones on real quick. First story being, I went to a gay bar on Thanksgiving.
Voluntarily?
Well, I did. It wasn't my idea, but I was asked to go.
Right. Okay.
By some girls. I was meeting up with some girls on
Aight.
Thanksgiving to go to a bar, and they were like, "We want to go to this gay bar."
Perfect.
And honestly, I'm not like a homophobic.
Yeah.
I don't
I've
have
been
an
to
issue
gay
with
bars.
it. Yeah. So like, I was like, "Fuck it, might as well try it out."
Right.
Pulled up. They're doing like karaoke. It's a good vibe. Everyone's singing and shit.
Okay. So nice.
I gave the bartender my card to start a tab. Buddy gives me my card back later on after like, bro, I don't know how many rounds I had. I had shots, beers, probably like 5 or 6 of each. You know what I'm saying? Like I ran up a little tab, but he gave me my card back, didn't give me no receipt, and I was like, yo, what? He was like, yeah, your tab's on me tonight, buddy. And I was like, oh, this how
like
girls be
that.
feeling. So then I was
it's
like,
like
shit,
that.
let me show a little thigh or something. Like,
Yeah. Oh, watch out. Did it cut off?
Nah.
Oh, it might be my headset. Yeah, that's what it was. All right, all good, all good. All
My
good.
bad.
No, you good? Dude, I got sexually harassed once by a gay dude.
Damn.
Yeah, is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll just make sure.
Making sure we get that part in there.
Yeah. Gotta make sure. Yo, so this is nuts. So I'm at College Hill Sundries, my favorite bar. That's why I'm shouting them out. I love that place. I judge a bar based on like if the bartenders and the girl and the people in there, how many tattoos and piercings y'all got. Because, like, if y'all got piercings and tattoos, I fuck with y'all. Like, I'm going to feel, like, not judged and shit in there. So, I love that bar. College Chill, I was there, and it was, like, off night. It was, like, a Tuesday. Not a lot of people. The girls that I was with were like, yo, can you get these orders in? And blah, 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 blah. And then we'll, like, pay you back. And I was like, that's cool, because they're going to go grab a table. And so I'm just sitting here, and it's, like, kind of awkward. So I just, like, look over. There's just, like a kind of chubby, like, older man, like, probably in his 50s, right? Just sitting there, like, Hispanic or Hawaiian. And I'm just like, see, you got left alone too? And he's just like, because I'm talkative. I just be doing that. He's just like giggling, right? He's just like, huh. Right? Okay. I was like, okay, he's weird. So I turned to my right and I'm talking to this white dude. Like, he looked like trailer trash, but he's funny as fuck. And this dude's like telling me his whole life story and shit. And it's just goofy. And he's like, yo, you want to smoke a cigarette? Like that type beat. And then as I'm talking to him, all I feel on my back is like a graceful rub. Like,
Did you if you didn't know it was a dude, would you have liked it?
Nah, coming out the cut like that is kind of weird.
True.
It was also tickling. It was more like tickling. I was about to be like, ooh, like, you know, like you ever had a girl suck your toe, but like and you didn't even realize that shit was gonna happen? It felt like that. So I was just like, ooh, and then I'll turn and it's this fucking old ass like fat gay dude, and he's like, you watch SpongeBob?
Yeah.
You seen that episode where SpongeBob was round? And he was like lame as fuck. And he's like, hey, how are you? That's exactly how he sounded. He was like, hey, how are you? And I was just like, oh, I'm good. And I just like kind of like continued my conversation with this guy. And I was just like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And at that very moment, I realized what girls have to go through every day.
Dude.
Like, motherfuckers just be grabbing ass and like touching them and
At
shit.
the bar and shit.
That's nuts, dude.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
Me too, man.
Unless you're gay. But
Unless you're gay. Yeah, I guess if you were into that. See, and honestly, wait, this was a gay restaurant?
no, it wasn't even a gay bar.
Oh,
this
then
is
never
a
mind.
normal
I was gonna
fucking
say
bar.
if this was like a gay bar
No,
or
that's
something,
different.
there was like probably a 60
an
or 70%
insinuation.
chance that you liked it.
Yes,
to be
an
honest,
insinuation.
But if this was just a regular like public
Regular
place,
bar, bro.
damn,
Regular
shit.
bar.
I mean, I guess that's what society wants, though, is for everyone to be able to just kind of shoot their shot like that. So I mean, maybe that'll be happening more often. We'll be getting harassed.
I guess, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Just don't harass, regardless.
Regardless of if you're gay or straight, yeah, touching people without their
Ask for
consent.
consent. Yeah.
May I caress your back?
Yeah, which is also you know. Here's another dilemma, right? It's not even so much a dilemma, but like I've noticed that because of the social climate that we're in now, so like girls will say like always ask before you do shit, right? But then I've also talked to this fucking other girls who say like, oh, I hate it when a guy asks me if he can kiss me and shit. I just like when they do. And I'm like, motherfucker, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want? So I always ask, but I'm like, if I'm a corny motherfucker now because I asked you, yo, can I kiss you? Like,
it's the same thing with like when girls are like with the dude and he's an asshole. I can't stand this asshole, but it's like they break up with him and the next dude they get with is still a fucking asshole. It's like,
oh my god,
is it the guy or is it your type? Like,
yeah, and like it's also like, oh, dude, it's crazy the psychology behind that because like when I was younger, I used to be a little simp bitch.
Same.
Yeah, and
I
like
think I might still be, to be honest.
it's different now. After getting done wrong like a couple times, I kind of like learned, and also like honestly, what really changed it was looking good for once in my life and like actually getting girls,
Being confident and shit.
Yeah, and like once you get that down, you don't really care as much, and then it's like it's crazy the change in the type of girls you can get because like back when I was a simp bitch, you could only get like a very select group, and it's just like
Girls who want that.
so I guess that's the psychology of like the asshole mentality, but I don't think it takes a specific girl to really like an asshole though, like a beat the shit out of you asshole or something like that.
All right, so while we're on this topic then, so what's the difference between like, I hate our generation because what is dating versus talking? And then like,
Dude,
I feel
that's
like
a great question.
there's no like black and white on what's okay in a talking phase and a dating phase and stuff like
This
that.
is a good combo.
There's there's always a gray area because it's like if we're talking, how serious is it? And if we're dating, like, are we exclusive? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, I'm exactly.
What do you think? What is talking versus dating to you?
Okay. So dating is when you're my girlfriend. When there's a label. If I say you're my girl and I'm not talking to anyone else, I'm exclusive to you, then that's dating. Talking is I fuck with you and I'm gonna continue this and in hopes that we will date, but I'm still not done for the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you probably aren't either.
You're still gonna be fucking around?
In the talking phase, yes, until it's getting to that phase of like almost dating. You know, so let me think of it like this. Let's see. Talking is like getting a hand job. It's like it's like steady. It's not the best. Like, you're not gonna consider, but like you can fit two hands, right? On some dicks. I don't know. I guess maybe not mine. I'm Asian, but yeah. So you can fit two hands, right, at one time. But can you stick your dick in two pussies at one time? No. So sex is dating.
Okay.
You know, because that's just one.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That was a really bad metaphor, but
I see where you're going with it.
But yeah, so pretty much like, I don't know. I feel like you can talk to a bunch of girls at one time. You don't have to though. Some people like really doing one at a time. But if I'm talking to a girl, especially initially, and she's talking to someone else or like fucking around, I'm as long as she's not like a mega thought, but like I'm okay with that because I'm doing the same thing. It'd be hypocritical if I were to judge her. But like, I think it's when I'm starting to get like that gray area is the tough part.
When you're
right between actually dating and you're still kind of talking, and then you know what's really fucked up? The term exclusively talking. Then you're like, what the fuck? It's
like we're just adding other like adjectives to this to make it like one more step before like, because then at that point it's like, is it even worth it to like get married and shit? Because then we're gonna have to be engaged, and there's just like more steps to it than I feel like. So much, and especially nowadays, man, it's like talking, exclusively talking. Now we're dating. Now we're engaged. Now we're married. It's like, goddamn, I just had to go through 6 steps.
Yep.
Like,
and on top of that, you got to deal with girls that like open relationships. Mm-hmm. That's a new thing.
Do you see yourself getting married?
Yeah. I see myself getting married. I would like to see myself getting married. Now, if I don't, it's fine. Like it is what it is. I have a fear, and I have friends that are like this, and so I see this that are older than me, and so that scares me. I have a fear that my how bored I get with girls and like how my like desire to constantly find someone new is gonna damage the fact of me settling with one.
That'll be like a catalyst.
Yeah, because I had a long-term relationship for 2 years, and what ended it was the fact that I realized like, yo, I don't want marriage with this girl. Like I want to continue like seeing other people. So
and there's like a lot of people out there too, man. Like the commitment. So basically the commitment aspect of like the full life thing.
That's what scares me. And we're at the age where we're still young, so we still get the chance to fuck around, but we're getting older. Yeah. So it's like when you do date someone, it's like, oh, this could be it.
Oh, dude, for real. That's actually one of the scariest things the older we get is like, how much fun are we allowed to have now? Because this other person might be ready to like instantly. It's just it's a weird time for like dating. I feel like it's not like old school days where like the man would come home and be like, yep, all right, my daughter's marrying this.
Oh my god, yeah. Also, like I can't even imagine how it was back then. Another thing that I also think about, and this is a good question for you. Do you think back in the day there was because right now, cheating and affairs is known as like a majority almost, like, and also divorce and stuff, right? But do you think back then it was also like that, just no one knew about it because it wasn't like social media and shit? Like, you think motherfucking dudes were like taking business trips, clapping cheeks and shit, or do you think they were actually faithful as fuck?
I think that there were probably guys that were doing that, and there were probably guys who were pretty good, but because to put it in perspective, I like to think of my grandpa or like my grandparents, and I'm like, all right, so how would he have acted back then? You know what I'm saying? Would he have been like? So I don't know. It's hard to say because like
there's less girls too, or access to girls.
If it's me back in the day, I feel like I would probably still be. If it's done today, I feel like it would probably still be done back in the day. But then again, I don't know because
who knows? That's the thing.
That's actually a good question. I don't know. I feel like because it was probably easier to do back then because there wasn't so much.
Yeah, it's true. See, that's another thing. No one can catch you.
Nah, for real.
And like,
no social media and shit to like.
Yeah, I think what does a detriment to commitment in our modern days, dating apps and Instagram and shit.
Access
at
to
least
other
for me.
people and shit.
Yeah, I think I'm a hypocrite because I like actively use it, but then like so let's say like I'm on a date and I fall for honeymoons a lot. So every time I like meet a girl, I'm like, oh my god, like this could be like, yo, I really fuck with her, right? It's every time, unless I instantly know like it's just a hookup or some shit, right? So the problem with me is like I go into that and then I have Tinder fucking platinum, so I'm over here swiping it away, right? And then there's another baddie, and I'm like, fuck. Like
What you kind of did it to yourself,
right? And then also like as a busy fucking 25-year-old dude who has a podcast, like you have a podcast, and like I have work and shit, and so like how much of my time can I devote to multiple girls?
Yeah.
And then that's why like part of me, the deep down, I would like one girl, but they gotta be the right one. Like it's just gotta be. They gotta be so fucking bad, bro, and mentally as well, not just looks, but they gotta be mentally,
have their shit together,
looks, everything so bad that a motherfucking dude like me is done with the streets. You know, like done with talking to anybody.
Hell yeah.
That's how it has to be, which is rare. I've only met like a few girls to ever make me consider. Like I'm like, all right, is it?
Is this it?
But then something always happens.
Yeah.
So.
I fucking hate when it's like motherfuckers nowadays be on like 2 different pages too, because then it's no one's fault really,
Yeah,
you know, because like
that, bro.
we're at an age where like being in our mid-20s where I have friends that have been married for 4 and 5 years now and
Wow.
I'm working on their second kid,
Holy
and then I have people
shit.
like me that are literally like, you know what I'm saying,
Yup.
I've never even brought a girl home to meet my mom.
Ever?
I mean, I have like friends that are girls that I brought home to meet my
but
mom.
like a girl that you.
Not like a girl that I was dating.
Oh,
I've never brought
shit.
a girl home like that because, one, I feel like if I'm bringing her home and I'm dating her like that, I would want my mom to be like, all right, this is probably the one he's like settling down with. I don't want to become the guy like.
You're right.
My mom knows I'm a single dude and I have my fun, but I don't want her to like
Have to meet constant
Yeah.
people. Sorry,
I'm-
mom, dad. They've met a couple.
No, it's crazy because a lot of my buddies are the opposite. Like they'll have people that they're like hooking up
Yup.
with or whatever, not get that serious with, and they'll bring them around. And it's like I can respect that, but at the same time, that's
It
just not
devalues the meetup.
True.
Too. It definitely does because it's not as like serious, which could be bad or good. But I was gonna ask you, like it's almost a concept. I just want your opinion on it. So in dating, in a monogamous relationship, or interaction or talking or whatever, do you think it can ever be equal in terms of liking each other, or is it always one person likes the other more?
I think about this a lot because
I do too.
I feel like it's always going to be one that's more into it than the other. But at the same time, I feel like it's got to be like the yin and yang situation where it's got to be that balance at the same time where like not a balance as of who cares more, but a balance as in like what else is this motherfucker bringing to the table? Like, I may be all in for this lovey-dovey shit, or she may be on for the lovey-dovey shit, but if I'm, like, providing for the family, she's supposed to be, like, maybe I'm saying that. That's definitely manly of me to say, or, like,
Yeah, you're about to get canceled. Like,
I ain't mean it in, like, that type of sense.
I mean, it could
but,
be the
like,
other way around, too.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean it in a
Girl could
sense
be
of,
riding.
like, just because one person, what do you mean by caring? Like, does the
showing
your care, like, your affection?
And that is also different based on the person too. It's like there's people out there that show care through acts of service.
Yeah,
or there's
yeah.
people out there who does words of affirmation, all those like love languages, right? But at the end of the day, what I meant is like overall being into someone, like being the love or the infatuation with someone. Do you think it can ever fully be equal? Regardless of how you interact with it, just the actual.
I haven't experienced that, so
I haven't either.
I would like to think it's possible, but
Same.
I haven't experienced it. But like I said, I have a bunch of friends that have been married for 4 and 5 years now, so it's like it seems like from the outside looking in, obviously everything's different once you're in the situation, but from the outside looking in on their relationships, it does look like they're mutually like into each other. So I'm hoping, you know what I'm saying, that it's like that way, but that's all we can do.
Yeah,
Until you know.
dead ass. Watch movies and jerk off and hope. That's what I do. Do you? Do you? Fuck, I fucking lost it. I was gonna ask something that was gonna continue on that, but I lost it.
How many girls have you brought home to meet like mom as a serious relationship?
As
though?
a serious relationship,
Yeah.
like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
Do
Well,
y'all-
I've only been in 4 relationships.
I've never like even talked about bringing a girl around my mom, but do you have a conversation like leading up to it? Like this is a big deal. You meet my family or nah? It's just like, hey, you want to come?
Most
to this
of them
restaurant?
is mad chill. Yeah, it's mostly chill, but like with two of the girlfriends, it wasn't like planned, and then two of them it was kind of planned. Like, oh, we're gonna all eat dinner or some shit.
Does your family like? My little sister brought her boyfriend around like. She's like 19, but they've been together for like a year or two now. But she started bringing him around like 6 months into it because my stepmom is like, when are we gonna meet this guy? Blah blah blah. Is your family like that? Like, when are we gonna meet so and so? Or like, are you gonna ever bring someone around for us to?
To be honest, my connection with my family is different than a lot of Americans because I'm American, or I consider myself American, and they're more like Vietnamese. So we have a cultural disconnect. Like, we're super tight, of course. Like, I talk to them about business and shit all the time on like finances and life and stuff. But in terms of like relationship and stuff, also Asian culture is very different. Like, we don't really talk about that. Like, we never had birds and bees. We never had any of those talks about like sex or shit. Like, they just assumed, I just assumed.
Yeah.
And like, who knows? They could be thinking I'm gay. Like, I don't fucking know. But
They just assume.
you're right. So they just assume whatever, right? And so they don't even know my love life until I let them know. Like, I don't tell my parents I'm talking to somebody or I'm dating someone unless I'm like dating them and I'm like, all right, it's time for them to meet. I'm like, hey, by the way, I have a girlfriend and I want you guys to meet her. And it's like 6 months or a year in at that point usually. So
have you ever lived with a significant other?
No, I've never fully lived with someone. I when I got this house, I was dating somebody, and like they would take stints where they would be like staying over for a couple of nights and stuff. Okay, actually false. So 2 exes ago, she lived in Chapel Hill, and I worked near Chapel Hill, and I was commuting. So I would stay with her a lot. It wasn't like living, but it was like felt like it, and that was a dumb decision because, well, I guess in hindsight it was a good decision because it ended the relationship. But living with someone speeds up the process of how much you get to know them and how much red flags you get to see and shit. And I saw we were not compatible. And so because of living, it just didn't work. Like, yeah, are you good at seeing red flags early?
I feel like I am, but I'm really good. I'm even better at ignoring them. Like, I feel like I know red flags when I see them, and I definitely can point them out. But at the same time, like my dumbass, I feel like I get too infatuated with someone too quick to like be able to take the red flag. And
so you will acknowledge that there's red flags, but you will purposely be like, nah.
I'll be like, maybe it's not the same as the last time type shit. Like, it'll be a situation.
That's not acknowledging it, my guy.
I feel like, no, because I'll acknowledge the fact that it's there, but I'll be like, well, this is a different girl, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's different, or like, you know what I'm saying?
What's the red flag that you come across the most? That you are like, nah, like, fuck.
Shit. The biggest red flag in a girl would probably be if she's like super like lazy and like unmotivated, honestly.
Wow, you've encountered that a lot.
I haven't
encountered that one.
I wouldn't say that I've like encountered it a lot, but I've steered clear of a couple of situations because of that.
Wow, that's an interesting one.
Because like you just said, we're both busy as fuck all the time. Yeah, and I'm in an instance too when I get in a relationship, I will sit there and be lazy with you all day if you're not like, I'm not the type to like be like, we need to get up and do this, this, and this. Because the moment you say, nah, I want to just lay here, I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I'm gonna fold like quick as fuck.
It impacts you.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like a relationship for me definitely hinders me from progressing with my career and my work and stuff like that.
So that's an very important trait for you. For me, it's immaturity. Because, like, I don't know what it is fucking about me. Or, like...
Specifically, like, how they act immaturely?
So, like, okay, obviously, maturity is not based on your age by any means. Yeah. But... for some reason, girls that I end up dating are younger. Like, not like fucking, like, I'm not fucking Epstein or anything, you know? But, like, they're like 21 or like 22, and they're like just either one in college or fresh out of college. Mm-hmm. And if you get a girl, and this isn't the case for everyone, of course, but just generally speaking, if someone is in college or just got out of college, they haven't fully established their adulthood yet. They're still in that transition phase, and I've been an adult for like 3-4 years now. Yeah. So having to deal with like the nuances of what they view as a conflict versus what I view as a conflict, or like just like the mannerisms of how they approach like, oh, how do they find a job, or just like little things like that. And then like that issue can stem into bigger issues, and also like how they deal with fighting and like arguments and stuff. If it's immaturity, like there's an immature factor at all, I'm out. Like I can't deal with that shit.
I can agree with that, especially with like Snapchat and social media and shit like that now, when that comes into an aspect of like, why are you watching this story but ignoring my text and shit? When that aspect comes into it, I'm like, bro, you're really mad that I like watched the story or some shit? Or like,
I got a question for you. You just met a girl. Obviously, if you just met her, it's fine. It's whatever, right? Do you think it's a red flag if she got hella dudes snapping them, or is that normal because we got hella, or no, we don't have hella girls, but you know what I mean?
I think it's normal for her to have hella dudes snapping her, but see, that sucks because like a motherfucker could like get all those snaps and just not be responding, but at the same time, like how did all those dudes get your snap in the first place?
Yeah, so I constantly, not constantly, I recently thought about this because usually I don't even like encounter Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat like that, to be honest. Like my snap score is like 70K, 80K, but I've had that forever, right? Mm-hmm. But then like me and my guy friends will talk about like when you date a girl that has a snap score of like 1 million or some shit. Then
Huge
you're like,
red flag.
You're like, okay, so you agree that
yeah.
it is one. I want to say it's not, but it kind of is.
It definitely is. I mean, it's definitely. I won't say it definitely is, but you just gotta like.
Yeah, it's definitely more cautious.
How nosy do you want to be? All right. Me and my roommates were talking about this the other day. Actually, yesterday, I think. Would you want to know your significant other's body count? Would that affect?
That's a great question.
Would that affect your ability to like care for them anymore, any less, or to put it in a different way, if you were already dating someone for a year or two and then you found out. Then you found out. Would that change how you already felt?
I think the dating, yes, obviously.
Beforehand, yeah.
They hooked you, bro.
Yeah.
You're already fucking in too deep now. You put an investment. So if you had a high body count, girls, just don't fucking say it for like a 2 year. No, I'm just playing. But,
keep that shit.
Okay, so in my opinion, it's funny. I literally just talked about this as well with a girl, and in my opinion, body count does matter, but it doesn't matter. It's like it's not a like end all be all.
It's not a deal breaker.
It's tough because like if the number, I'm gonna say my cap.
If she's fucked more dudes than you.
No, that's fine.
I mean, more people than you, not dudes, but like, you know.
Yeah, I've only fucked 4, so. But it's got to be a preposterous number. It's like if they're okay. So like, let's throw a scenario. Give me a girl's age.
24.
All right, 24. If she's fucked like 150 dudes, then I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
All right, so if she's 30 and she fucked 150, that's going to be...
Yeah, you're right. That's so same shit.
150,
well, the reason I asked for the age thing is like if they're younger and they do more, I'm like,
true.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like they're 8... well, I don't even talk to an 18-year-old. My limit is like 20, 21. So if they're 21 and they like fuck like as many as me, then I would still date them, but I'm like a little curious like how much you hold out at such a young age. But... I don't know. What's your limit?
Well, I don't know if I have necessarily like a number limit, but me and my roommates were just kind of discussing the fact that like we would be...
Will it matter?
Well, yeah, will it matter? And we would also think like a girl would be upset with us, so it would be a double standard if we
absolutely.
got upset with them. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
exactly
I told them
the
I would
reason.
just rather not know. Period.
Yeah.
Unless I know for a fact you're just like a great person, or not to say if you have a lot of sex you're a shitty person, but you know what I'm saying. You just haven't been around a lot. I would definitely take.
Yeah, I think part of me don't want to ask because I don't want them to ask me.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason. But I don't think it. I think it actually matters if the girl has a minimum too. Like if they've only fucked 0 to 1.
You don't want to be the teacher.
Yeah. Well, I've done it before. I was my ex is like one of like 2 or 3, so it was like it's okay, like it's fine, but like it does kind of like she's not gonna have experience.
Yeah.
And I honestly I don't think I could fuck a virgin. No, like that's an automatic like no for me. So like but at 1 I'm like.
Do you like big girls?
Like thick?
Yeah. Nah,
or
like
tall.
Like big women, or skinny, or really.
What are we
skinny.
talking about? Like
I'm
big,
talking,
like wide.
I'm talking
or
wide.
Tall? Nah.
Either or tall.
I can't. Actually, we have a fucking joke in our friend group. There's a skinny guy named Antonio. Shout out Antonio. He loves them thick girls, you know. And I'm like the opposite. I like thin, slim, or fit. I will take a thick girl if she's like slim thick. Like it would look good on her. You know what I'm saying? I have fucked a few, but I'm gonna say I prefer skinnier girls personally. Do you like?
I'm the same. I like skinnier women. Although obviously I don't mind a girl with like a fat ass. I would prefer that.
That's the one sacrifice.
Yeah,
which
like you
sucks.
do have to give that up for like more petite women.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely.
I like a little bubble butt though. Like if you're
Bubble
petite
butt's
and
nice.
have a bubble butt, that's like
best.
ideal for me. Yeah,
That's the best, dude. So like, yeah, and it's a hard battle because like it's
you
what
gotta
we
pick
like.
your poison or some shit.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying?
yep,
Like,
it's definitely what we like. And I was gonna say with the figure thing. Fuck. Taller. I prefer girls. I don't even have a fucking preference. If they're my height, that's cool. But being a shorter guy, I've dated taller, like much taller. I've dated a 5'11", and I'm 5'4", so that shit was fucking goofy, bro. I hold my hand like I'm like a little kid, like hey, that's just fucking awesome, bro. It's so funny. But
That's funny.
But yeah, so you don't ever have to deal with that.
Well, it's crazy because I just recently hooked up with a girl who was like, she's like 6'2" or 6'3".
How was that?
It was my first experience with a girl that was like 6 foot plus, and I'm 6'5", so it wasn't like she was taller than me, but like when we were in bed, like fitting at the same with someone in bed, that was the first. Like normally it's always like, even if you're 5'7", you're damn near a foot shorter than me. So like that's not short, but like our bodies just don't line up correctly when we're like spooning or whatever it is. So it's just like.
Well, now you know my life. My whole life I had to learn how to be a little spoon too.
Are you? Yes, so I was about to ask. Are you little spoon, big spoon?
I prefer being big, but like if the girl is taller, I was just leaning over a little bit and just just a little collar muscle. And I've dated a couple taller women, so I mean it's just the way it is.
Did you ever do Tinder and shit?
What do you mean?
Like Bumble, Tinder, anything like that? Did you ever meet up with people that you matched with? Because I think I used Tinder.
Bro, I got Tinder Platinum. So
oh, you did mention that.
I'm a mega hoe. No,
right.
I'm not a mega hoe. I refrained. I did go through a mega hoe phase though.
Let's go over Tinder Platinum though.
Yeah. So
what is it? What's the difference?
All right. So it's so funny you asked. You're asking the right guy. So regular Tinder, you have a limited amount of swipes. You can't see who swipes you. Blah blah blah. Right. This is normal. Now there's a Tinder Plus and then there's a Tinder Platinum. Platinum's the most expensive. I didn't even know there was two. And when I got out of my relationship, obviously I got out of it in hopes to meet other women. And so my fucking, at the time, I'm not like this now. I'm a little bit more like calmed down, but I was like ready to hoe, you know? So I looked at Tinder Platinum and they were like, dude, if you got a year plan, it's like, I think it's like $12 a month or $10 a month or something like that. But if you get it monthly, it's like $20. So I was like, "Said it. Let's fucking do it for a year, bro." I'm sure I'll be a hoe for a year, right? But now I'm already slowing down, and so I get it, and the app becomes black, and you get unlimited swipes, unlimited.
Turns into like swinger.
Yeah. I'll show you this shit, bro. So it turns into black. I'll show you this shit right now.
Tinder after dark.
So it's black. Like that, and then you go into it, and two things that change. So if you go into this section, you see everything with a black heart. Yeah, that means they liked me first. Ooh. And then if you go into this section in the middle, before it used to be blurred, but now you can see everybody who liked you, and then you can choose like if I would swipe left or right on them. You know, so it saves me time. I'm like waiting, you know. Yeah, because I'm like, all right, this girl likes me. I already know what's up. But you also get to see how many like unattractive women like you as well, which is also. I was gonna
say that as I've heard with the like when you do start paying for it, it's like
you see everything.
Yeah, it's not just like hot women are gonna start matching with you. You see all the like.
I mean, at the end of the day, you still gotta look good, and you still gotta like have a good profile. I mean, or be really funny or something like that a girl likes. Yeah. And, so regardless of that, you still need that. But Tinder Platinum does help you with getting the matches if you got that. Like if you got the Riz already, then you're gonna get even more because you can see the girls. You get unlimited swipes, and you can do passport, which you can travel. Like if before I go to Orlando, I can put myself in Orlando.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, I was doing that for Europe. Like I was already there matching before I even get there.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then you can turn off your distance, so these girls don't even know that you're like there or not. So I'm over there, and then I'll tell them like on my bio, I'm like, gonna be in Europe for a month, like let's hang or something like that, right?
So you match with them and you'll actually end up meeting up with them for the most part.
Oh, I have gone on so many Tinder dates.
That's crazy.
I know.
It's not insane. It's actually like what Tinder is for. But I've matched with not millions, but a lot of fucking women, and I've only ever met maybe I can count on one hand. But I want to say even tops, it's probably just like 3.
So where do you usually mostly date?
It would either be all right. So that's another thing is like I've only ever even really like dated per se,
or like
maybe like.
Where would you find girls?
In college, it would be either out and about, or I was a bartender too. So like.
See, that's white privilege, though. That's the difference. us non-white, non-tall white motherfuckers. We gotta use any tool in the arsenal. All right, this motherfucker just steps outside, and girls are like, "Hey, I gotta work for that shit, motherfucker. I got a 9-to-5 job on this fucking Tinder app. You know that?"
But it wasn't even like I wasn't on Tinder. Like I still used it, but I just never like. All right, so the one person I did meet up, or not the one I can remember one. It wasn't even a catfish. It just like was such a weird thing to be like, I've seen you on the profile, and yeah, they did look a little bit different, but this girl, she was from New Zealand, bro, had an accent. It was actually way better than I thought it was gonna be. Like, it was the opposite of how you thought it was gonna go. So now I was like hella into it, bro. She got me, man. She fucking. I took her out and everything. Then like,
She
bro,
never talked to you again?
ghosted my ass, bro.
See,
I
that
guess
happens all the time.
I guess I was like not the
No,
one.
I mean, it happens
obviously,
all the
but-
time, bro. Like, I've ghosted. I've been ghosted. Like, that comes with the territory of being on a dating app. Yeah. I honestly, I date on dating apps 99% of the time. There are the 1% where I meet a girl out and I like at a bar or like at a restaurant. I'm like, damn, she's fine as fuck. I gotta get her Instagram, and then I'll just like slowly work on Instagram. But more than likely, Tinder is easier for guys like me, and honestly, for guys in general that are niche. Like, I'm a niche guy. Like, if you like me, you're either one into Asians, into anyone, into guys with tattoos, or just like open, right? So it's very niche. For you, most people will like you unless they're into niche guys. True. Like into black guys. Then they're not gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're more the majority kind of open, so you can kind of talk to anyone. Where for me, I have to use a dating app because it saves me the time. Because if I go out in the street, right, and I'm like you, I'm a bartender, right? And I hit on a girl, the likelihood of me not being her type could be higher than if I were on Tinder. Because if the girl swiped up with me on Tinder and we matched, I already know she's my type. You get what I'm saying?
Dude, that
like,
makes so much sense. That makes so much sense.
So if you're like, okay, if you're a tall white dude, or if you're a handsome ass white dude, I'm gonna say a tall, like, light skinned dude, especially light skinned motherfuckers, or like a really clean fit black dude. Those guys, those you four motherfuckers, you guys can date wherever you guys want. Those are like, you'll fit majority of categories. Now, that's niche is like for this, you know.
I've never heard it put that way, but that actually makes so much fucking sense.
Yup. It just saves me time, man. And it has nothing to do with rejection. I don't give a fuck about getting rejected, but it's just like going out and talking and getting rejected versus this, you know.
I'm gonna take I have another good question to ask when we get back, but we gotta take another quick break.
Right.
Gotta check this battery. Be right back. On one, but he just doesn't talk to. We're back. Probably our last little segment. We've gotten into a lot on this episode, bro. Good conversation.
It's a great one.
But we left off talking about Tinder, and I do have another question.
Okay.
Dealing with Tinder. So when you do initially message someone, is it going to be a pickup line, or do you have like a go-to line that you're going with?
Yeah, kind of. First off, I want to compliment that you are also really good at asking questions. So you're a good podcaster.
Appreciate it.
I've been on been with people who don't fucking continue the combo well. But all right. So when I first started on Tinder, I had like pickup lines and stuff. Okay, when you ask a girl, which I've asked many girls this, they like funny guys. So if you got a funny pickup line, fucking swing for it. Mm-hmm. I'm not good with pickup lines. So I always go to their bio, see what their interests are, or look at their bio, and I'll say something about that.
You playing chess?
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
you got
That's
to,
chess.
bro. So, like, if a girl says she likes cats, right, I'm like, all right, how does a cat cafe and Korean food sound? Like, how can they say no to that shit?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, or, like, something like that. Or, like, matter of fact, let's just pull up this Tinder. I can see some lines.
Is this the same for if you're DMing, like sliding in DMs too?
DMs is different. So, if a girl, if I'm playing the DM game, it's usually a girl I met in person. And I play the long game when it's DMs, because my cousin, she's 5 years older than us. She's a girl, a beautiful girl that, like, athletes actually, I don't want to say names, but have slid in her DM and shit. And she told me the best way to play it is like subtle as fuck. So like she puts up a story of, like, let's say a girl puts up a story of her eating some good ass food. Just swipe up and do that little like fire sign or something really subtle. Let it be, and then wait until there's a story or a picture or something that you see that connects with something you can talk about. Mm-hmm. So then I'll like let's say
It's a waiting game, bro.
Yeah. So like, okay, I'll give you a exact example. I met a girl at a restaurant. She's listening to this to be funny. I met a girl at a restaurant and I got her Instagram, and I could tell I might not be her type, so I really played the long game. I was just like, I would do that, swipe into her stories and stuff. I saw that she traveled somewhere, and I was like, oh, cool, where are you traveling? And at this point, we kind of built a rapport a little bit. So then she was responding. She's like, blah, 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 blah. I heard you travel too, right? Like, you go blah, blah, blah. How was that? And then I kind of continue that conversation. And then I wait a little while. Then I'll be like, oh, I have some free time next week. Do you want to grab a drink? And then that usually, most of the time it works. Most, not always, but
I mean, it's not
ideal.
always gonna work.
Yeah, but that's But Tinder, it's fast paced. You don't want to be long.
Yeah.
If you long game Tinder, they're gonna be losing interest. There's a bunch of guys that are online,
Facts,
you know.
facts.
So like, let's see successful ones. All these like this one was weird that it was successful. Cause I. Oh, there you go. Trying to find a cafe and artsy spot to take pics for each other. Like that she likes.
And you got that from her bio?
Well, I saw that she was really artsy.
Okay.
So I just used that. But her bio sucks, so it was really hard to find something. Okay, here's one. Let's see. How long this is going? Okay. Your cat is so cute. What's their name? Like,
That's smooth.
Yeah, just like
smooth little foot in the door.
Obviously, the funny line is always gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Funny will win. I'm just not. I'm funny, but I'm funny in person. I can't think of like
Yeah, I
pickup
feel
lines.
that.
Like I just think they're all so fucking corny. But yeah, I don't know. Did you have a line?
I
I used to use a really bad one when I first started.
Recently, it hasn't even been a line. It's literally been a gif of Steph Curry shooting a basketball.
That's goofy as fuck.
Isn't it? And it's not. It's only been successful. Like I haven't used it that much. I just started trying it.
Does your bio have your height?
On Tinder, I don't think so. I think it just says I'm a tall guy.
When you throw height in that bitch, it's like butter for tall guys. I've already noticed, dude. We sometimes we do viewing parties at my house with girls' Tinders. Like I'll have my girlfriends, like Amelia or Sierra Bradley actually did this once. Or did Sierra? No, it wasn't Sierra. Sierra was sitting there while we were doing Amelia's. That's what it was.
What, you like slide through
So
their Tinder?
we'll put the Tinder on the airplay, and we'll all collectively make decisions. And I get to get into the psyche of a girl.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, "Oh, he's kind of 6 feet." So, okay. Like I'm like, whoa, that changes everything.
That's
for
literally-
you. That's crazy.
They're
bro.
like, damn, fucked up teeth, fucked up credit, but he's 6'2".
feet,
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn.
Those are the guys you want to hook up with.
That's
which is
crazy. Yeah, because I think women that go for shit like that are specifically like, I only date a man who can bench this
Shallow.
and is this height. One, they're shallow, and two, they're only in it for like a breeding purpose. I feel like where they're trying to like have the
Yeah,
most perfect offspring, which I get it, but like,
So yeah. So I mean, isn't that the goal? Like everyone who you fuck
facts.
or everyone who you fuck or date is there for breeding purpose, kinda, right?
maybe
like,
not reproductive. Like
In our psyche, it kinda is.
every girl I've ever hooked up with, I have never like not all of them I have
Okay,
wanted
yeah,
a baby
you're right.
with.
You're right.
There have been a select few that I'm like, would I mind? I would still mind, but I still like, I don't know. I feel like with the height thing, that's what we were talking about. Is like the height immediately changes a girl's perspective of a guy. I feel like the girls
Yeah.
with that in their mind
Yeah.
probably are in it not for. Not saying it's the wrong reason, but they're probably in it for a more specific reason than to date.
I see what you're saying.
They're
For sure.
more in it for like the physical attraction to that person.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
like,
isn't that what most guys are like too? Though we view looks a lot.
yeah,
view
but I
looks
can't
a lot.
think of there's not one thing that I can think of that like a girl, if they told me like, ooh, I'm like, I weigh 120 pounds, or ooh, I got double D's. There's nothing. There's nothing.
120. That's
There's like nothing that a girl could say that's gonna be like automatically like, unless she's like, I ain't gonna lie, if you can sing, that's actually something that I'm like automatically makes you like, whew.
I wait for the girls that say that they're depressed. I'm like, I'm in that shit. Let's fucking go. What you on, Lexa, bro? Let's fucking go, bro. I got a shot.
Emotionally unavailable girl.
Yo, let's fucking PTSD. Let's go.
That's funny as fuck. Yeah, I would wait for the ones that are fresh out of a shitty relationship.
Ah,
Like,
right. No, but I get what you're saying. We don't have that one attribute in a girl that's just instant. But I have met guys that do have that.
What would be that attribute?
Hey, buddy. Hold on, let me bring him up. What were we talking about?
The one attribute in a girl that would change a guy's view on how attracted he is.
Yeah.
You said you have a couple friends that do have that. Thing
Yeah,
in a
it'd be
girl.
like I have one friend who likes like just like I guess it's more of a look. So yeah, maybe
I mean,
not one single attribute.
I
might
mean,
be
in a
right.
sense, being tall is like an attribute, but like me personally, I just can't think of like one thing on a girl. I've never been like, ooh, she's tall. I automatically think she's hotter.
I know guys that just go for fat asses.
I
Like,
do.
They
yeah.
can be fat, skinny. They got a fat ass.
No face either. Like strictly
guess.
off the ass.
Yeah, you might be right.
Are you a tits or ass guy?
ass? Of course.
Really? Have
Tits
you
are
always
nice.
been that way?
No, I mean when I was a kid, I'm sure I liked tits because that naturally you like tits at first.
I was always a tits guy until college, and then like I don't know what changed. And it's crazy too because I think actually this is what changed. Is predominantly like the girls that I've hooked up with haven't really had much. Like I mean, there's been quite a few that have had big tits, but at the same time, most of them, a good majority, have probably had like not much going on.
Tits are more fun to look at, but ass is more like functional. Like you can, in the middle of sex. Okay, I mean, I guess you could grab titty. Could you imagine grabbing titties?
I definitely
you fucking a girl like this though, like you're using her tits. Like if you grab that ass and then you throw it in, right?
That's true.
But even when she's on top, you're grabbing thigh or ass or something.
True.
But then imagine grabbing the tits. You're like,
that's if she has like big ones, like.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I've dated a lot of girls with some fat titties, which is just strange because I'm a small guy, so it's like.
There's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
Have you I've encountered several, I don't know how we even got onto this, but like I've encountered several women that have had one nipple pierced. Never had that. I've always thought that was so strange, and it's weird because like I'm into nipple piercings, but I'm also I don't care if you don't have them.
Yeah. Are you gonna discriminate on the left tit or the right tit? Like,
well, that's the thing is like when they do only have one pierced, it's almost like their like nipples are like winking at you in a way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like.
You ever had a pregnancy scare?
I don't know if it was like an actual scare. The girl was like a week or so late. It wasn't like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that was as close as I've got, but it wasn't like an actual. We need to maybe plan an abortion type shit.
I almost once. This is the only time I even got like close to getting scared. Was I was hooking up with a girl in college and. I don't know for what reason, but I could not last that day. And I usually like I'm all right, but I like came like, and she wasn't on birth control. And but I had pulled out, but it was so close to comfort where I was just like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, it was a little. Should I say something and pay for Plan B? I don't know.
See, and if I've ever even questioned it,
Plan
like 100%, I bought that shit.
Yeah.
Over 10 times. I hate to say that, but like
membership?
even if it's I should damn near have a fucking credit card there, and then they got to print you out for the fucking 30 fucking foot receipt, bro.
Yeah, with like 8,000 promotions and coupons.
Nah, but I definitely bought Plan B before. Not because the girl had said that she was like thought she was, but because I was like I'm unsure if I made it all the way out.
Wow, that's safe play, my guy. I've never had to buy it. I've never.
$50 versus however much a kid costs is like. Or even, I don't even know how much an abortion costs, but
I don't know.
Shit.
Well, you're debate it like this. So it's like $50 or like how much is a coat hanger? It's like $1, right? At Walmart.
Yeah,
so we good, bro. We good. We playing it like the hood out here.
Damn. What sucks the most about Plan B too is the fact that it's like $50 or $60. Like it's not like. I mean, it makes sense. This shit's damn saving you, but like.
College insurance is cheaper.
Really?
I remember in college, if I had to buy it, it was like 20 or 10. With the insurance.
I did not know that. They definitely were doing that at ECU too. They probably had the fucking like 2-for-1 special there.
They're probably the insurance they're losing money on ECU. They're having to pay out so much fucking goddamn reports of thousands of Plan B and STDs. Goddamn.
That's fucking nuts, bro.
ECU is a wild place. I don't even think that's a college, bro. That's like a cult or some shit. Bro. You'll all be fucking each other.
Honestly, once I was done with school there, I can't tell you how much I grew. I hated it while I still lived there, but now that I'm gone, I still love it. But
yeah,
like living there post college is just not it, man.
That's a true college town, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
was Wilmington like that?
No, it's not as small as a tiny college, but it's not like ECU where the college is everything in the city. Where Wilmington, we have the beach, so because of that, we have tourists. So we have like it's a city too. Like it's not so much just the college. Like the college only makes up like probably a third of like actual city. You have the beach and everything like that. So it's a little lesser. And then you guys have like you guys are known for your parties and like you have a football program as well. We didn't have football.
Yeah, so what did y'all do during football season for like, did y'all just go to other schools for football games to tailgates and shit, or did y'all just have your own like party at the school?
So we emphasize basketball. We were big basketball, so like we'll do like basketball things like parties and shit. But when it comes to football season, either the boys like we'll go out of town for that weekend to go to Clemson or something like that. Or if we're in town, we're throwing just frat parties, just straight up, just like just house, straight frat parties.
Yeah.
So that was the I would say that's the one good thing about me being in a frat is like there was always a party, so I don't have to worry about that.
What was the bar scene like in Wilmington?
It's hard to get in if you're not 21. So it's really unfortunate. There was college bars that you can use fakes to get in. Like I had a fake and shit. They weren't like great. Now once you're 21, you have a decision to make. Are you going to be a beach bar guy or are you going to be downtown? I thought I was going to be a beach bar guy because that's where all the frat boys go. And like it's like a continuation of the frat party. It's like a giant, everyone's 21, but they're in frats and like sororities and shit. So yeah, there's a bunch of baddies, but like, no one's like different. Like they're all the fucking Karens and Laurens and shit, you know. And then you go to downtown. Downtown's a completely different scene. It's like edgy. There's people with tats. There's like it's like every walk of life. Locals, not just college kids. Like people who live there and shit like that. So it just depends. Your guys' bar scene is very different from what I heard. You guys
had to put it in perspective, we had like 7 bars probably, but like, bro,
they were packed
to the fucking brim. And then like you would want it. So like this was the shitty part about not being a fraternity at ECU, but I got lucky because I was plugged in with a couple of the bouncers until they graduated and left. But like if you weren't in a fraternity, obviously your only other option was to either have a party at your place or go downtown. Yeah. So 9 times out of 10 it was like, man, I'm not having all these motherfuckers over at my crib. I'm going to the bar. Yeah. So I would go to the bar and like knowing a bouncer made it 20 times better. You skip the fucking line. You don't got to wait for nothing. Like you go up to like, we knew one of the bouncers, he would let us to the 25 up part of the bar. So it would be like, it would be a little bit less crowded up there. So like we got a little bit lucky, but the bars, bro, they smell terrible there. Like,
what's that one big one that everyone
Still
goes
Life?
to?
That was the one that I knew the bouncer at. So
cool.
It was very poppin', but if you didn't know someone, you had to stand in that line, bro. It just wasn't worth it.
Damn, bro. So like you only had like 7 bars? That's
crazy. That were like actually
bumping, yeah.
Yeah, wow. And then like a lot of them were like, some of them were strictly like Greek life bars, like PBs, like Pantana Bobs. That was like strictly Greek life. So like I kind of steered clear from there.
Strictly Greek life.
If you were in a fraternity, you probably went there to go out, or if you were underage.
So if you're not in a fraternity and you go there, it's like you feel weird.
Yeah, for sure. They actually had like Greek life nights type shit, and then like all the bartenders were all like sorority girls, frat guys too. So like they're all going up to their. If you went to one of those bars, you're not getting a drink unless you're in a frat too or in a sorority.
Wow.
Because all the bartenders know all the other Greek life.
So
they're
like gonna skip you for a while.
That's why I was saying like at Still Life I got lucky because I knew the bouncer, and then through that bouncer I knew a couple of the bartenders, so they would like kind of hook us up. But once he graduated and left, I was like, man, fuck this shit. Like it was stupid.
So it is just a continuation of a frat party. That's how the beach bars were. It was. I didn't like it. It was just like, ugh, this is greasy. I mean, I was in a frat, but it was just like.
Not to mention, I don't know how like we had this place at ECU called Sup Dogs.
Sup Dogs, I have heard of that place.
It's a great restaurant, but it's very like oriented off of clout and shit like that. And people who like would end up working there, it would like go to their head. Like
what do you mean by
we
that?
Work at the best bar in America type shit, and like that group, you would see them out and about.
Because they're on Barstool and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So like it was very like. ECU, just because some shit like that happened where like Barstool blew Sup Dogs up because you were affiliated with that, like you automatically thought like you were the shit. Yeah. So like that was kind of an interesting aspect of it too.
Wow, what an interesting fucking experience going to college.
If you had a kid, would you want them to go to ECU?
I don't know if they wanted to do that. I don't know if I have to decide on the kids aspect first. I don't know if I want kids.
You don't know if you want kids.
Nah,
that's becoming a common thing now.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I do.
Like, why is that? Too much things that you gotta do for yourself?
One, it's like the relation. I look at it as almost like the relationship thing where I was talking about earlier. When I'm in a relationship, it's like it's the commitment, and it takes away from my ability to kind of progress in my career and like work on my craft and stuff like that. And with a kid, that's you got to look after a whole nother human, so that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
Not saying that I wouldn't eventually maybe want a smaller person, but at this moment in time, like I have a lot more I want to accomplish before I even like think about it.
Yeah.
But to get to your question, I would want them to do whatever the fuck makes them happy. Like. That's so cliche to say, but I hated being in our generation, and it seemed like college was like
the only thing. Now it's not.
Oh no, now it's not. but like I felt like we were one of the last,
the last. I was
groups
just
that
about to
was
say that.
like, if you don't go to college, you're not going to succeed. And it was like that couldn't be farther from the fucking truth, bro.
Yeah.
Like
I
that
know a
could
lot of
not.
college bums.
I know a lot of people that graduated and like, especially when I moved to like Charlotte and started working fine dining and shit, that literally graduated from college, had their 9 to 5 or whatever their career path was in their major or in their field, and quit to come to work at fine dining because it was like, dog,
enough.
I'm not making shit, and it's like, this is killing me. Like, I'm so fucking bored working
Yeah,
like
doing
9
all
hours
this
a day, sitting in front of a
I
desk.
can't do that, bro. Office life sucked. I tried it.
What'd you sold insurance?
I still do sell. Like, I'm still licensed. I still sell some clients and stuff. But like, when you first start in insurance, regardless if you're sellers or not, you have to sit there and you have to make those phone calls and shit. Bro, fuck that. Shit sucks.
Was that something you had to like, you learned insurance outside of school, or did you learn that while you were in school?
Outside of school.
Yeah.
College gave me the connection. The guy who owned who's still technically my boss for insurance, he was the founder of my fraternity's little brother. And so we met each other at like an alumni weekend or some shit. And then I got his information. I knew there was pressure that once you're a junior, you have to get an internship.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to call this dude up. And he hooks me up with this 2-part internship. Half of it's in Durham, half of it's in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm out there. And Ohio was sick, bro. I met one of my best friends now, Matt. He's cool as fuck. We still bull and shit like that. But actually selling insurance all day just wasn't for me. Not my style. I don't like doing fucking emails and all that bullshit. I like doing other stuff. I like doing stuff that I like.
So would you want your kid to go to UNCW?
Probably not, to be honest. I mean, if they wanted to go to college, I would tell them I'll probably pick a different college, to be honest. Unless they really like the beach. If they really like the beach.
If you could go back, would you have gone to a different college?
If I had to go to college, though? Or can I pick not going to college?
You said you wouldn't have gone to
wouldn't
college
have
at
gone.
all.
But if I had to go to college, I felt with App's vibe was really chill. I would have gone UNCG, bro. I fucked up because I had a full ride there and I turned that shit
agree.
down.
For what?
Just a full ride for academics. Like
What?
I lived here, so the living expense was already checked off.
Yeah.
I had FAFSA, which was like financial aid.
Yeah.
And then I had like one scholarship, and with adding all that together, I would have paid like, I think it was like $200-300 a semester, which is like fucking dirt. And my dumb ass was like, yeah, let me pay $5,000 instead and go to a party school, or like not beach school.
That's one thing I do tell people if they do decide to go to college is like when it comes to like the student financial aid and then student loans and shit like that, just like be fucking careful, man, because bruh.
They'll get you.
All right, so like I wouldn't have gone to college if I could go back, but if I did have to go, I would have done it like 1,000% a completely different way, because student loans, bruh. I went through a private bank, so during the pandemic when the bill got passed where all student loans were paused until whatever time, my shits didn't get paused because I was on a private bank.
Shit.
So I stopped paying mine, thinking like, because I heard someone at work talking about it and I see it on the news. They're like, yeah,
So
student
you
loans
started
paused.
getting interest.
I started getting, my interest went up, and then they start, I had my guarantors were my parents, because like I didn't have the fucking, credit to be able to sign for that much money type shit. So like they're my guarantors, so they're blowing up my parents' phone like, why haven't y'all been paying, blah, blah, blah. So then my parents are texting me, they're like, we thought you've been working throughout the pandemic, like why? So I was like, yo, I thought they were, I was like, I thought they weren't paying them, or like we weren't supposed to be paying them, but yeah, no, student loans have been ass experience. I just recently got them refinanced, and that shit was a whole task in itself. But
yeah, I was lucky enough to get only after being done 20,000 because I had so much financial aid, and that was for 4 years. And my parents and I made an agreement where they'll pay for half and I'll pay for half.
That's smooth.
And I literally like. I was fucking dirt, like a fucking cheap ass shit. I'm still pretty fucking cheap, dude, honestly. Like, material stuff to me is nothing. Only house and car do I care about. But, so, like, at the time, I was grinding, living under my sister's roof, and not eating, like, out. Like, not drinking. None of my friends saw me. Like, I was like, grinding for, like, 6 months straight, and then I paid that shit off.
Damn.
Yeah, like, but it was
Good
a struggle,
shit,
though.
bro.
But it was lonely, bro. You didn't do shit. I didn't date. I didn't do it, like literally 6 months, just straight grinding.
I had a friend who said she did that post-college where she just lived at home and didn't have to really worry about rent. So everything she would have been paying for rent, She just put it towards her loans, and she was like, she paid it off, and like it took her about a year or so, but she said it was just a year of straight not doing anything I was wanted to spend at the grocery store or whatever. It was like the necessities, and that was it.
That's life, bro. It's sacrifices and decisions. You gotta like, and now I'm battling that right now. I'm having fun. I'm like going on dates and shit. But part of me is like, all right, if I don't do any of this, I would have so much money to buy another house to rent out or some shit like that, or like invest or something. But then another part of me, like my dad talked to me. He was like, dude, like you're 25. Like if I was 25, I'd be having some fun. Like go have some fun. That's why I bought that car. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, but at some point, I am gonna dial it back, and I am gonna at least minimize. I'm still gonna go out, but like every now and then, type shit.
Gotta stay on your P's and Q's though.
Yeah, I don't spend as much as I used to, bro. When I was hoeing, bro, I was going out like dates. I was fucking going out with the boys, and we were like buying fucking shots and shit. Like now, I'm like, nah, I'll drink like 2 or 3 drinks when I'm out, but it's not too much.
It's kind of old though too, because it's like after you do it, like after you do it so much, it's like, all right, we did this last weekend where we just took 6 rounds of shots, and I'm blackout just like I was last weekend. So like, now what are we about to do?
Yeah,
go
tell
back
that
home?
to my friends.
Yeah,
they do it every weekend.
Every single weekend.
Every single weekend. Some of them do it even like 2 or 3 nights a weekend. I'm like, I can't do that. I do 1 night a week.
I don't know if it was ECU, but I think that had a lot to do with it taking it out of me. Just because
like, you went so fucking hard.
Uh-huh.
I learned that whenever you meet young people now, and they're like, yeah, I don't get hangovers or anything like that. I'm like, that's because you didn't drink like we did back then, because that'll tax you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like taking some of your life away.
Do you feel that now whenever your hangovers, do they hit different?
They do. I have to be smart with hangovers now. I make sure I'm always hydrated. I drink a Liquid Death when I'm out. Sometimes if the bar offers it, I'm also getting one.
For
just
sure.
to make sure I'm hydrated. And then like, what really fucks me up is if I do drugs. Like sometimes I like dabble in like cocaine and shit. That will fuck me up the next day.
Yeah.
So I have to be very selective of when I do that now.
Yeah.
That is really taxing. That's like the next day I'm fucked.
Really?
Yeah. Coke will fuck me.
I've only done it a handful of times, but I don't think I've ever had like my nose has felt weird.
Dude, because I'm staying up all night. I'm probably drinking more if I'm doing coke.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the next day is just like misery. I'm waking up late as fuck. It's like 2, 3 p.m. I'm fucking like, dude.
Anxiety through the roof.
Yeah, I need food. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that again. Like all that shit. Yeah. God. That's pretty much it, man. But now it's slowed down. Everything in my life has like, in terms of having fun, it's been a different type of fun. Like I like traveling and shit more, and I do like spending time with women and like going out on dates more than getting fucked up with the boys. But you know, I don't know. Phases of life always change. So who knows how long that's gonna be for?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
This has been a fucking great ass episode.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know if we haven't touched any. Yeah, I don't know if we haven't touched anything at all. We've touched it all.
You haven't touched my pee-pee, but
you gotta buy me dinner.
Yo,
first,
before this, he said a joke about how he didn't have this one teacher. He never had him, and he taught special ed kids. I was like, dude, I'm glad you never had him.
Yeah. All right, first of all, I don't think we shouted her out.
Shout out Miss Jackson.
Shout out Miss Jackson.
Yes,
Even though you're
right.
not Miss Jackson anymore, you'll always be Miss Jackson to me. But we were talking about her husband, and I was like, yeah, I didn't ever have him as a teacher. And Loon's like, yeah,
I'm pretty
because
sure
he's
special kids.
And I was like, oh, I guess that would explain why I'm not.
Yo,
in
Miss
there.
Jackson, come drink with us,
dude, for
College
real.
Hill. Let's make it happen.
And come on the podcast. Like,
Bring
come
the
on
husband,
the chewing grounds.
Bring
come
the
on
husband,
dude.
Bring the whole gang.
She's I won't give away. We'll talk after this, but we're gonna wrap it up. It's been episode 9 of Podheads. Shout out to Loon K Doe for coming on, man. This was DJ. I can't even talk. DJ Easy Zeke, man. Y'all stay blessed. Have a good one. Peace.
See you guys. Peace.